the Intelligent Idea Topic Podcast.
Yo. Was that a new intro?
That's a new intro. That was a new intro.
What? Man,
yeah, that was cool.
working. That's what's up.
Yeah,
I like it.
Let's put that shit together. Y'all like it?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great.
100%, man. It's definitely time for
cool.
an updated one, man. Definitely time for an updated drink.
Yeah,
But, hey,
man. I was
guys.
nervous. I'm glad y'all like it. Cool.
Yeah, man. It's dope.
That was great, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Way to start.
Hey,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
thanks everybody. Welcome for joining us for the week of February 21st, 2025. Once again, Intelligent Idea Talkers podcast show. I'm your host, D.
This is Juice.
Zero.
Yo, we back, man.
Yeah.
Back for another one. Back for another round.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. So, as you guys can see, obviously, I think we're going to be starting with Captain America, Brave New World. Best movie of 2025 so far. Frank, stop it. Okay, we're trying to be positive here. Okay,
Hey,
but yeah, it was cool. It was decent. I guess maybe we can start with overall scores, fellas. I know the movie came out a week ago, but overall score. I guess I'll go first. I'd give it a solid 7.7. I mean, I was entertained. I didn't think it was anything groundbreaking. Some stuff was, go further into it, but just for overall right now, man, 7.7. I'll give it a 7.7, man. Thought it was entertaining.
That's really specific. Wow.
Yeah.
no, 7.7. Hey, that's actually I'll go ahead and I'm gonna say I gave it a 7.5. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, man. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I thought a lot of ground was covered. I thought, well, I'll get into my likes and my dislikes, as we get into it. But just off the top, 7.5 was my initial, review. And honestly, I was leaning towards 8, but there were some things that kind of knocked it out of 8 for me. But no, 7.5, man. Hey, yeah, 7.5 for me too.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
Hate.
Nah,
All right,
no
it's all
hate.
good.
No hate. I
I
can.
want to hear this because generally, overall, Frank is very positive on movies.
But I do have a question for you guys. The movie for based on your scores, the movie is tracking lower than I thought you guys were going to, feel about it. So what was it that kind of made it that low for you? Because I thought y'all were getting ready to give it 8s and 9s. But this was before the movie came out. But it just seems to me that it just it seems just lower than what I was expecting you guys to say. So what was it about the movie that it's kind of just opening up the discussion, but why did it for 7.5 and 7.7? Why?
I thought it was. I mean, it was entertaining. My biggest issue was probably we've already seen this story before. I wish Sam had an original kind of story, because basically this was the same plot as the Winter Soldier. Your friend needs to be proven innocent. You find out your friend. I guess not Winter Soldier. Maybe it's more like Civil War.
Captain America, right?
Yeah, right. And I wanted him to have more of an original kind of. I'm glad they brought Bradley back. I thought he was cool. But yeah, probably just because we've seen the story before, man. It wasn't anything knock your socks. Then there were certain elements, I guess opening it up. I love the Celestial coming back into play. That was dope. Cool way to introduce adamantium. There were some good things here. Red Hulk was the highlight of the movie. I was mad he was only in it for 5 minutes. Spoiler alert. This is spoiler heavy. But yeah, I mean,
spoilers all over this.
That was my biggest thing. I wish Sam had his own original kind of story. I wish there were more Avengers in it. Maybe a Wakandan or two. Maybe Ant-Man. They brought up Ant-Man's name several times. Sam appeared in Ant-Man in his movie. I thought maybe an Avenger would pop up. Certain things could have made it better for me.
I agree with that.
I would have went up to an 8, but 7.7. It was entertaining. I wasn't bored. I just wasn't shocked or wowed either. I wasn't wowed.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm kind of the same. I feel like it would have been nice to see some more Avengers in there, like somebody else, like pop up. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
know, you
another
got a
person.
whole. There's a bunch of people out there. They got
Yeah.
like Hawkeye could have popped in for something. Like you know what I'm saying? Somebody could have said something, but like nobody came through at all. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of like, and I get it, you know, but
Thank God Bucky showed up for a split second.
eh, at that point, it would have been better off if he didn't show up, right?
Yeah, because he just left.
I will. I
Yeah,
What
will.
the
am I
nigga just
doing?
popped in and left. It was
I
like,
will
man, you all
agree.
right?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I
I
will
can
agree.
use your help.
I will agree.
Yeah.
I thought the Bucky cameo was useless. Like
It was.
it didn't need to happen. It was nice because the banter between them is always like funny.
Yeah,
But like,
the
Exactly.
chemistry. Yeah,
Honestly, I wanted more of that. Like if Bucky was in there, it doesn't have to be for a long time, but give him a few more scenes
mhm.
and let them do their thing. You know,
Have
like
him actually assist. Like help.
not. I don't even need him in the fight or anything, but like maybe have him in the background doing something. Maybe he's talking to people, whatever. Because what did he say? He was like campaigning or something.
Yeah.
That's random.
That was
But
that was actually because of his lead into Thunderbolts.
yeah,
That's what he's going to be doing. In Thunderbolts, he's going to be like becoming a congressman. And he's campaigning and like going to political events and things like that. But
yeah.
that's his whole deal. So that was just kind of a vehicle for Thunderbolts.
Okay. Well, yeah, that didn't have to happen. You're right. Like he could have just, if they're gonna have him in there, have him in there. Like for a little bit, like give him some time, let him do their thing. Like it's cool that he showed his support for his homie. We appreciate that. And then that way they are kind of like brothers. They're like the sons of Steve Rogers and shit. But like, I don't know. But I definitely feel like one of my main things that kind of threw me off of like giving it a higher score was some of it's felt like rushed, right? There were some
yeah.
elements that was rushed that
You
like
could see the reshoots. Yeah,
I don't know. Well, I don't know, but like I felt like it was definitely like when like the Jedi needs to like get into a room and they're like, I'll just stick my lightsaber in this lock. And like that's what like, and now we're in. Like that's what like
lightsaber works for everything, man. Come on.
that's what I'm saying. Like, or they're just like, or they'll punch the lock, or like they'll hit it with something. Just, like this high security thing is like now open easily.
Yeah.
Like they did that a number of times with Joaquin, like hacking into the fucking White House, or like the way
security camera feed,
or the flashing light for the brainwashing thing. Which fine,
I thought that was kind of cool.
This is comics.
When that happened, I was like, where'd that come from?
But it was still kind of cheap. But I was cool with that. But like at the same time, it was just like they moved it really quickly, and part of it was I kind of spoiled it for myself. Like remember I said before, that Red Hulk wasn't the main villain. I feel like I was right about that, and that there was gonna be another villain. And I didn't know who it was. And I was like, okay, cool. This is going to be interesting. And then while I was standing in line getting popcorn, I picked up the Sam Wilson Funko. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I looked on the back and I saw Leader. And I was like, oh. And I was like, no. I spoiled it for myself right before the fucking movie. So that for me, that was a personal issue. But that probably knocked some of the hype off for me.
Dude,
that I probably would have been like,
I totally forgot about that guy. You know what I mean? Like when he popped back up, the scientist from the Hulk, I was like, what the hell? I was like, okay, I like the furthest thing from my mind was that we are going to see the scientist that the Hulk's blood dripped on his brain. I mean, that shit was.
But remember, like this is a Captain America movie, and here,
I was like, what?
This thing is flashing like crazy. This is a Captain America movie, so I expected there was gonna be, in Captain America movie fashion, some dude behind the scenes pulling the strings, right? I just didn't know who it was, but this was consistent with that, so I just didn't know who it was. But this seemed like it's kind of what I expected to happen. That's why I knew like Red Hulk wasn't gonna be the villain. Oh,
they shouldn't have shown Red Hulk as much in the trailer.
Talking too much. It was a good diversion, though. It was a good diversion tactic.
It was, but he I mean, he was the most exciting part of the movie, you know. My bad, Frank. I'm gonna let you go, but I felt that they missed the presence of Thaddeus Ross, the actor who played that guy. Because Harrison Ford was cool. I mean, he's classic, but I just think it would have meant so much more if it was a guy from the Sokovia Accords and from Red Hulk and from all the that same actor coming through.
He was a good actor.
I like Sam being like this hardened, like kind of veteran hero. Like he didn't seem overwhelmed in any situation. Like he knew what to do. You know, worst scene in the movie for me was, and it's supposed to be like the climactic. Not really, because the Red Hulk was, but the flight battle around Tiamat, the Celestial. I mean, I just thought it was kind of cheesy.
What? I thought that was cool.
Really?
I mean,
I thought that was well done,
man.
Wow, okay.
We've seen all that before, man. Like, and there was no.
That's what he does.
So Sam and this Falcon, you know, whoever the guy was, Ramirez, whatever the guy's name was,
Joaquin Torres.
Like they're taking out planes and I just
Gonzalez.
I just wasn't
random Spanish person's last name.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Ramirez.
That's his actual last name.
Reyes,
That's his actual last name, Ramirez. Goodness.
Stop, man. I wasn't trying to go all over the place, all right? Stop.
My goodness.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But I don't know, man. I just wasn't wowed by that scene. I was just like, okay, where's the Red Hulk? Like that's what we're waiting for at this point. I want to see the Red Hulk, you know. But whatever.
All right, what didn't you like about it, Frank?
Okay. So I'll say this. It was when I first watched it. I was going in expecting some real crap, but I was pleasantly surprised. I think the movie had some good points. I thought the action scenes were standout for the most part. Sometimes the CGI in the midst of everything was kind of like scaled back a little bit, but I think like the choreography was like really well done, especially like the part where Sam and Joaquin were inside that facility and they had to like fight their way out. I thought that was really well done. Like that was cool. And the flight part, I thought that was really thrilling. I thought that was really good. I think I see your point a little bit, D, but like the reason why I think I see your point is because it's kind of like a lot of it was kind of like generic action scene, right? Like,
yeah,
there wasn't really anything special about the scene that stood out, but I thought it was well executed either way. But maybe it's to your point where you've seen this before. Like it's kind of similar to Winter Soldier, like the helicarrier part. Where a lot of it took place in the air, and we really got to see Falcon do his thing with his debut with the wings and everything. So, but I thought the action scenes were standout. Well, some of them not so much. Like the clip that I shared with y'all before the movie came out, I thought, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? But
hey, to be fair though, like that was bait, man. Like that was bait.
That was bait.
That was bait. No, what are you talking about, yo? He was scrapping through the entire movie.
So
like he went in through the entire movie. So I can't take that from him.
So that kind of leads me to the start of the problems I had with the movie. And okay. I know how I've been this whole time. I'll be the first to admit, like I'm looking for problems. Like I'm looking for the flaws. I'm looking for everything. But like, I was surprised by some of it, right? Like it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but like it wasn't as good as it could have been, in my opinion, right? So like,
okay.
One of the first things that I had a problem with was a lot of what you guys said already is the fact that you could see the reshoots, right? There were like 7 or 8 different threads that they were kind of pulling on, but they never resolved. They never saw through to conclusion. to me, the movie was all over the place story wise, right? Like you start off with Sam as Cap, and then the Isaiah Bradley thread, and then it goes to the Thunderbolt Ross thread, and then it goes to the Sabra thread, and then Joaquin has to play a part in all of this, and then
Sabra, okay.
So the widow, the ex-widow.
I had a problem with that. I did
too.
Because she didn't have no power.
It wasn't. So the thing about her, that character, she was supposed to be a mutant, like from X-Men, right?
She's a mutant.
She was supposed to be.
That would have been dope.
I needed something. That's what I would have needed. No.
Reshoots happened, and
I'm like, how'd you get a Black Widow? I wouldn't trust that lady within 50 feet of me by herself.
For
a Black Widow,
for a bodyguard to the president, I think that makes sense. You know,
but maybe from a defense standpoint, she's capable, but she's a widow. She could be a spy.
By definition, this bitch is not to be trusted.
So it's like to me, like reshoots. Getting back, reshoots kind of plagued this movie, right? Like reshoots would like. It was very telling that there were a ton of reshoots done with this movie, and every time that they did a test screening after every reshoot, it would get horrible reviews, and so they would keep changing it until it got to a point where they're like, we got to release this movie, or people are going to forget about it, or we're going to lose mad money. We're going to lose more money than we've already lost. So they released this kind of like weird concoction of 7 or 8 storylines that they never followed through to resolution. I feel like they had a lot of great ideas to start, but again, poor execution, no follow through. For example, Isaiah Bradley. I feel like there could have been a great story with just him. I feel like the focus could have and should have been on just him. How? Because he is a super soldier, right? It could have been more like Winter Soldier in the respect, like maybe Isaiah, it goes right up to the point where Isaiah goes evil and goes rogue, and you have a human, a regular, no super soldier Captain America trying to take on an OG Captain America as a super soldier, and the fact that like they're close, and there was a personal, there would have been more of a personal stake there.
Okay.
Which I feel like
if he just went straight rogue and they focused solely on Isaiah Bradley as the bad guy.
And so the thing is, you would feel sorry for Isaiah, you would feel pity for Isaiah, even though he's the villain and he's not in control of himself. But like, Sam would have had a lot more. It would have brought a lot more heart to the story. I feel like if like Sam was like, shit,
you're probably right about that. Because I thought they wrapped up.
This is my hero. This is an OG Cap, right? I don't like that they called him the Forgotten Cap. That's weird. But like,
he was.
but like, this is the OG Cap. This is an OG Cap, and I have to take this guy on. And like, but this is my mentor. This is my hero. That's my man. That's like a father to me. And
maybe they should have gave them a fight.
It would have kind of flipped the whole Cap thing on his head, right? Because like, he goes from being allied with a good Cap fighing alongside him to now I have to take down a Captain America. I agree with you.
I feel like that would have been.
Let me say, so I get that, and I definitely think that would have been cool. I feel like, they probably should have gave them a fight. Maybe like a quick scrap between the two of them. But like, I feel like we all knew a lot was kind of riding on this movie. Mm-hmm. And like that, I definitely feel like the reviews would have been like, this is, who cares? Like, so, I feel like that. I feel like people would have been like,
I think there might have been a good story to be had.
That's an episode of something, but this is not a movie subject. Because
I mean, think about it.
It's a little straightforward, right?
Well, think about it. Like a lot of the reason why this movie was reshot so much was because of the political climate.
Yes,
and
that's one of my other issues with this. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Let's just back and forth this.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So go ahead.
No, yeah, like one of my issues. I feel like it was definitely kind of tone deaf considering our climate right now.
It
like
was.
For me, it was very tone deaf. Like some of his commentary on what the president was and what it represents, given our, and maybe they couldn't. I get that they couldn't do it because it's like 3 weeks ago this movie was put in office. It's too many research, too much shit going on. I feel like if there were research, it was suffering from that. Because
it was 100% that.
I think most people can differentiate.
We have Hydra happening right now, right? And it's like,
we
couldn't address that shit in real life.
A Captain America movie and real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go to a Captain America movie, I'm not comparing Harrison Ford's portrayal of the president to the actual.
It's not.
That's the first
comic books are always reflections. Comic books have always been reflections of political.
100%.
I think, yeah, of course, you can draw correlations from any movie. You can draw correlations to real life
commentary.
Comics have
even
been
commentary.
I mean, but come on, man, it's a movie about a guy who's flying around with this outer space metal and I'm glad they addressed that because he addressed the fact he didn't have serum, and we'll get to what y'all thought about what y'all thought about his suit as well. But it's a movie about a guy flying around on wings who's helping to take down a monster. Like, yes, you can have political commentary, but most people just want to go turn their brain off at the movies. I think that's the problem. Like, when we try to interject too much politics into movies, I think
those are the same people who've been getting $5,000 from the government.
Hey, but if they send you $5,000, you ain't gonna send it back in protest.
But this
is how am I gonna send it back?
Exactly. So you gonna take it? You gonna use it for your best interest. So
back to topic. I'm sorry, we're not doing that. Back to topic.
I think most people
that was my fault.
Between the two.
That was my fault.
Like, I never once was sitting down thinking, well, what that doesn't look like what Trump is doing right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it was just a movie. It was about Captain America.
That's not so surface level as what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the fact that the movie was changed to reflect the current climate at the time that the movie was being shot. For example, the part where Isaiah, getting back to Isaiah real quick, the part where Isaiah goes off, right, and he attacks, he shoots at the president, and the glass breaks or whatever. I don't know if y'all remember the original trailers, but in the OG trailer, they had a version of that where he starts to transform into Red Hulk at that moment. So, but they reshot that because that was a direct response to the election at the time, the campaigns at the time. If Kamala won, let's say, they would have had him transforming into Red Hulk, and then we have like America going against the Red Hulk. But because Trump was winning and Trump eventually did win, they had it so that let's keep this presidential figure in the movie for a lot longer and not have this big reveal of him hulking out until the very end, which is another mistake that they made marketing-wise, because marketing-wise, they should have kept that wrapped up, because the way the movie built it up, the Red Hulk was supposed to be a surprise. And
you're right.
Yeah, they definitely ramped it up.
But we were anticipating it, and
that ruins the when it eventually happened. Like, it ruined it, because we were just kind of like, okay, we know what's going to happen. Just when it's going to happen.
I agree. There can be political commentary movies, right? Obviously, but I'm saying in general, I think the main audience, I think most people that went to see that movie with their kids, there was a lot of kids in there last weekend. I don't think any of us was thinking anything political. We just wanted to see Captain America: Brave New World. You know what I mean?
It's not about.
It never is. It never is, right? Like, they always put it in there subtly to, you can go back.
No, they could be right out with it.
They can be either or. But
hey, Star Wars, absolutely political, 100% a political
brains off and watch a good movie. You know what I mean?
Is Star Wars political?
Yes, the themes are, but it's a movie
The
about
whole
guys
thing.
with laser swords fighting an evil Sith order. You know what I mean? Like it's political, but you have to know
It's
where to
doomed
draw the line.
political. It's doomed
It's a
political.
movie, you know.
It's doomed political.
Of course, there are political.
Yeah.
There are political, trails that you can follow, right? Like, okay, they did this, but this is also in real life, yes. But it's a movie about a guys on the planet that use spice for interstellar travel. You know what I mean? So you gotta
like
know
resources.
where. You gotta know
and,
where
colonization, maybe.
Yes, but you gotta know where what you're watching. You're consuming a piece of media.
Look,
you know what I mean?
Look,
it's not.
It's commentary. Here's how it works. Z. Let me just like simply put it. Look, the message is in there for the people who understand what they're looking for. The story is just a laser sword story for until you're like 25, and then you start looking at politics, right? Like it's just a movie about spice for fuel until you're old enough to realize, until you learn history, until you're old enough to realize that there's more to it than just that. Like it's for the people who can see it.
Do that
That's how it always is.
You can watch a video game and see that. You can watch a YouTube video and see that. You can read a magazine article and do the same thing. You know what I mean? But it's just, I think for most people in that
we're saying the same thing.
And we are. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I think you can have it. I'm just saying in general. For me personally, I didn't think anything about Trump. I was there to see the Red Hulk and Falcon and Captain America.
Okay,
and that's what I was there for.
And then let's get back to the movie, right?
But I saw some people talking about real quick the Widow, how like the actress is so small, and it was hard to believe she was throwing these guys. Right? I know we have that in movies a lot because even Scarlett Johansson wasn't a big woman, but like I saw this guy talking, and he was right. Like her fighting style in the movies, like she seemed like she carried a lot of power behind her punches, And I need to see this Captain America again, but that was a small actress. When you see her walking out of the facility, even the part where they went to discover the big brain-headed guys plan, they went to the underground facility. We've seen that in the Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? Like him and Scarlett Johansson went to the facility. They went underground.
And Captain America and Civil War when Zemo popped up out that bitch.
Yeah,
like that's how Captain America movies work. Remember at the end of the first one, Red Skull popped up at the end of that bitch. Like that's how Captain America movies work.
So my whole point to kind of like, put a bow on that conversation, right? Like it's just that it doesn't really matter like, what we thought or expected, but there is the fact that behind the scenes, right, when the movie was being made, that there were reshoots due to the political climate. Now, whether it came through, the idea came through that you could look at it allegorically as a political statement of some kind, or a political statement in general, whatever, that's up to you and your interpretation. But the point is that the impetus for reshoots, a lot of them was because of the political climate at the time. So that was my point. So what I was leading to is that the movie was changed a bunch of times, and I feel like again, story-wise, all over the place. There was a lack of consistency that I feel like it needed. There was very little follow-through on any of those threads. I felt like the villains were underwhelming. Like the leader.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I felt like he was incredibly underwhelming. Sidewinder was cool, but at the end of the day, again, a thread that just wasn't pulled. Like he was just kind of pointless. Like you could have done without him. And
he was there just to drop the information.
He was cool. He was cool. It was just kind of like the shock factor. Like, oh shit, that was a dope move.
Like when he got out at the end of that.
Like when he shot through his jacket to try to hit the ham. But cool. But kind of leads me to another thing that I feel like the movie. So I think in general the movie did a poor job of show and tell. I feel like it told way too much. They had to over explain everything just to try to give some sort of like meat to what was happening. But the thing is, at the end of the day, that's just treating the audience like they're stupid, and that's not what you want to do when you make a movie. right? Like we're not dumb. We can figure this out for ourselves, right? Like make us ask the questions that like, you know, want us to kind of dig a little bit deeper into a movie. Yeah, you want to turn your brain off, but if you're going for a political thriller is not a movie, not exactly a movie where you have to turn your brain off. A political thriller is a movie where you got to think a little bit, you know? So
I mean, was it a political thriller? They had Tiamat in the Ocean.
Yes.
They had Tiamat in the Ocean that was made out of adamantium. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
Captain America movie.
Yes. Winter Soldier
is about politics.
It's Winter Soldier, America, but he has a magic shield and he's flying around on wings. You know what I mean? So you gotta know where to draw the line.
The other guy had a robotic arm. Every single time, it's a political movie.
It's a political thriller.
It's a political thriller.
Come on, man. It's
like Olympus Has Fallen, man.
It was about fictitious characters doing superhero things. Yes, it's political in its theme. You know what I mean?
He didn't stop one dude from selling the purse this whole movie.
He's in DC. He's dealing with the government. It's political in the theme. Yes, but to me, I know where to separate the two. I don't think about real world politics. I didn't think one time about real world politics.
Again.
While I was in there watching that movie, bro.
Again, you're misunderstanding. I'm not saying.
I'm not.
I'm just calling it. It's a genre. It's a genre of movie. It's a genre of movie. It's a political thriller is a genre of movie.
There was
going on within was purely for political. What's the term I'm looking for?
Intrigue.
Yes. Thank you. Like,
I mean, Civil War had the Sokovia Accords at the beginning, right? And by the end of the movie, we had 14 superheroes fighting each other in the airport. That's a political movie too, right? Is that a political movie?
Not as much as Winter Soldier was, but it was. Not as much as Winter Soldier was, but it was.
Okay, but they had superheroes. Okay, I don't know.
Yes, we can agree. Superheroes.
We can agree.
Do not neglect politics.
The two can coexist.
Okay.
The two can coexist.
They happen together. The politics and the superheroes happen together.
Yeah. So,
the Dark Knight, The Dark Knight is a crime story. It's a crime noir story with comic book people in it.
Yeah,
they can coexist. Genres can coexist.
At the beginning of the movie, where he and I think we sent this clip. I sent this clip to a few days before, and he was telling them he wants them to get the Avengers back together. And that really got me excited for the rest of the movie. I'm like, okay,
I know
they're going to have an Avenger in this somewhere, right? Like they mentioned Ant-Man several times, right? I believe
that ended quickly.
You know? Yeah, it's like
where wrap that shit up real quick. It's like he was like, you know what? Never mind.
About the political.
No. Just again, the all over the place nature of the movie is like thread not pulled.
Right? I don't know, man.
You say
thread not pulled?
Yes, because there's nothing that came of it.
I thought Isaiah Bradley, his story kind of wrapped up pretty well. He was accused, he got found innocent, but they definitely didn't finish the Avengers one because they mentioned Ant-Man several times.
Look, the Avengers are going to come about when they come about. Like Avengers shouldn't be government sanctioned. I think that's what Civil War is about, right?
But why? But why mention it then?
Why mention it exactly?
Because it got your ass in the seat.
It did.
No, that didn't get me in the seat. That didn't get me in the seat. It got the reason why I sat my butt in that seat because I wanted to see how spectacular.
Because it got Sam to the White House. Because it got Sam to the White House.
He was invited to the White House not knowing, but that was the reason he called him over. He could have, I guess, he could have told him like, "I need you to go get some adamantium." He could have literally told him anything. Why would he ask him that? But that was just a thing. Well,
I feel like for as far as like storytelling goes, right? Sometimes an idea is presented and shit doesn't go through, right? That's it. Like, it doesn't mean it had to continue because it was brought up.
Sure, but why mention it then? You know, like why?
Maybe he was.
It didn't need. My point is, it just didn't need to be mentioned.
Hey,
maybe mention it post credits, right?
We gotta talk about that post credit scene.
Just as an aside to like an homage to Incredible Hulk.
And you might as well have done that because, like Prince said, it wasn't used. So you might as well have had it as a post credit scene. At least it would have teased us for the next movie or the next project. You know.
Well, what about like the whole idea of that? Hey, it's because the Avengers aren't getting together. We sure need another team to do some shit we need to get done.
Well,
Who could we get?
Since
that whole idea fell through.
So this is a Captain America movie, as we keep mentioning, right? And so did they. They kept mentioning Captain America, Captain America, Captain America. I'm like, we know he's fucking Captain America. Just stop. but like, it's a Captain America movie, and it's supposed to be a movie that's kind of like really focused on Sam and maybe his struggle, right, with wearing the shield, being the symbol. But like, I don't know, like that to me, it was something that definitely could have been elsewhere, right? Like it
just mentioning the Avengers, you didn't want to mention,
like not there, not at that point. Like it was perfect for post credits, right? But like they decided
that implies it would have gone somewhere. If it was post credits, it would have had to go somewhere.
Yes. Why is that such a bad idea?
Let me say, I think it was brought up because it's not going to go anywhere. Because that would mean that the Avengers will be under the purview of the government.
True, and Sam mentioned that. We'd have to work for
that. That was the dilemma. I mean, and here I have an issue with Sam. Let me say, I have an issue that Sam was considering it in the first place. That's my problem. I thought he shouldn't have even played with that idea.
That's what I was going to say. He didn't seem like against the idea.
That was a problem for me.
But Sam is smart enough to realize he needs help. You know what I mean? Like he can't do this on his own. You know, and like what was it?
He can't. That's true. He's just
what movie was it? Was it Black Widow where someone was talking to the Hulk? It was after Endgame. I think it was. Was it Black Widow? I can't remember. There was a scene where the Hulk was basically the Hulk is still out there, right? What's he doing? You know what I mean? Where's Ant-Man? Like we said, like there are periphery members of the crew, not the Hulk periphery, but that could have appeared or popped up. And to Frank's point, if it wasn't going to go anywhere anyway, you might as well have used it for a post credit scene. It would have.
They had a post credit scene. They didn't need it because Avengers are not going to be The Avengers are not going to be under the government.
It would have given us.
It was just a talking point. It was just a proposal.
It would have been a great talking point at the end of the movie. Oh man, are they going to get the Avengers back together? Like you would have wondered, is Sam actually willing to work with this guy?
So you wanted Thunderbolt and Ross to bring the Avengers back together at the end of the movie.
You know, that's where I was missing the actor who played Thunderbolt Ross the most is when he mentioned.
So it would have been the general idea that even you said, Juice, where it was like, if it was done in the post credits, right? Like, we wouldn't have seen or known Sam's reaction or intention behind hearing that from Ross, right? Like. Okay. Then that would have created a little bit of mystery. That would have also created, will they, won't they? That would have created, like if we see later on down the line, if they're starting to Avengers Doomsday is going to feature Captain America and his new Avengers squad, right? It's like that to me should have been the direction that Disney should have gone. Instead of mentioning it in the beginning of the movie and then kind of like having Sam's reaction and giving hope to the idea of the Avengers working for the government.
But they did squash it like 5 minutes later.
No, they didn't, because at the end of the movie,
they squashed it right after he got Isaiah shot him.
Yeah, he did.
At the end of the movie,
he squashed it right after when they were in the room with the little widow lady, and they were like,
and he called him son.
And he was like, yeah. So what about this whole thing? And he was like, yeah, that's off.
Yeah, that's off the table now. Yeah.
Yes, right. Yeah, at that point, but at the end of the movie, when Joaquin was laid up, Sam, you remember Sam said to him, "Hey, listen, Ross was right about one thing. We need to get the Avengers back together.
Sam knows,
and I want you on my team."
Sam knows he needs help. Perfect. I can't do this shit myself, bro.
Wait, so that was a bad place to put that? You're saying?
No, I'm saying the idea is not dead. Right?
Yeah, it's not dead. But it's not going to be under the government.
The idea is not dead. Well, he didn't exactly say that. He just said Ross is right about one thing. We need to get the Avengers back together. That's all he said. So it could still possibly be under the government.
Okay.
You know, I'm shocked that
I think that was the whole issue with the Sokovia Accords, right? Like they were able to nix that whole thing.
That's
right?
why I missed the actor
They were
that
able
played.
to
So they can't
control the Avengers more. They were able to control the Avengers.
That's
like,
where I thought they missed
and the fact that we shut them down
instead of them dropping mountains on cities like they can do. You know, the government needed to kind of like rein the Avengers in, right? Use them and kind of use them as their own personal military if need be.
And that ended poorly.
That's why I thought they missed the actor that played Ross the most.
Because so, like, lesson learned.
Of all the things they had been through, the Sokovia Accords, and them, you know, remember Cap and Sam were on the run from him in Infinity War, and like when he asked them to get the Avengers back together, I was like, damn, man, we missed that actor. I forget the actor's name, but
William Hurt.
You know, I think it would have really hit. It would have hit more. Like, damn, now he's smart enough to realize I need you guys' help. You know what I mean?
I feel like on that thread, like Harrison Ford, like he was I think he was just
Harrison Ford.
It wasn't quiet like I'm doing this for the paycheck, but it wasn't like a great performance by him.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Harrison Ford was like
it was just Han Solo.
Yeah.
he was just old Han Solo, you know, just
you know in an overall world building thing, I'm shocked that Tony Stark didn't leave. Like Tony, we all know, was the brains of the operation, and I'm shocked that he didn't leave more resources for the Avengers, like the Avengers that were going to be left for the, you know, like just like little stations around the world, or like, you know, satellites or something. You know what I mean? Like, Sam seemed completely on his own outside of his suit that the Wakandans get to them, which I like that they, you know, I talked about that. They kind of did something about his power because we knew he didn't have the serum, you know. But I'm shocked Tony didn't leave something for these guys. Like, Sam, you don't have any resources, Sam. I mean, I know he got some connections in the military and in the government, but, you know, just, man, Tony, I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't, you know. Wow. I thought you would have had the foresight to see I need to leave something for the,
let's not rely on billionaires.
That's as far as we know. And also, you might be putting a little too much stock into Tony Stark. Right, like
Tony was the brains of the operation, man.
He was
a pocketbook.
He was a financier of the
in Endgame, the Hulk tried to send people back in time. Tony showed up. Hey, fixed it, man, right here. You know what I mean? Boom.
Yeah, the brains of this. Because aware of the problem. I don't think he anticipated dying.
Yeah.
You know, or anticipated coming back as Dr. Doom. God damn it.
Yo,
like, yeah.
Before we get to that, because I got shit to say, because it's just starting to add up now. But so I want to say a couple of things about the movie that I feel like I wanted to see.
Okay.
Well, also, hey, actually, let me take a victory lap real quick. Okay.
Victory lap.
Let me take a victory lap, man.
What? What are you right about?
We were wondering how the fuck is this regular ass human gonna stand up to the Hulk?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got a pretty good answers about how that shit went down.
I like that part.
Y'all not gonna say that shit was a good ass fight. Y'all know it.
He
held that shit down.
That was the best part of the movie.
Y'all know that shit.
Yeah,
he held that shit down.
Best part of the movie.
Come on, man. You gotta be honest, man. He went toe to toe with the Hulk, man.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, how the fuck is he gonna do this?
Oh.
Okay. The same way you always go toe. You know, same way you always go against the Hulk. You don't fight with him. You got to hit with his head, man. You got to work the head, man.
Work the head.
Disagree. Let me not say that. That's a weird term.
We do not know.
You got to work his mind, man. You got to work his mind.
We don't know how strong Red Hulk is either. You know what I mean? They didn't do a good job of showing his power.
He brushed the side of the Washington Monument.
Yeah.
That some bitch almost tipped over, right? That's how strong this motherfucker is.
That was the best part. Yeah,
that shit. His fingers grazed that junk. It almost pulled itself in half. That's how strong it is.
So I will give you that the fight was somewhat entertaining. But I won't give you a victory. I won't allow you to take that victory lap. I'll be like on your left. I'll lap you because
all right, listen, let's do it.
Well, I'm biased because of the
Serum.
Like not the serum. Well, yes, that too, but like the Red Hulk, like as he is in the comics, and is like the first time we're seeing him in the MCU. It seems like they don't know how to power scale their Hulks properly, you know. Like so, like, but I'm biased to the comics, so like the Red Hulk that they had in the MCU was considerably weaker than the comics version. So all of the stuff that was happening, when I was watching it, I was like, that shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. Like when Sam was able to wound him, right? Like scrape him and put his feathers into him and everything. Not possible. No way. Right. But
even with the vibranium.
Only reason
yes,
I bought
even
that.
With the vibranium.
Yes,
even with the vibranium. Yes, even with the vibranium. Because again, this is a Hulk we're talking about. So I'm just gonna say this, but like again,
we'll leave it to the MCU then.
I will 100% say that, like, again, I'm biased to comics version. This is the MCU version. Cool. Okay.
Because Thanos is enhancing the Hulk, right? In the comics.
Yes, he is.
maybe with yes, the Infinity Gauntlet.
He made
the Infinity Gauntlets, maybe.
No, not even. Did you happen to read or know of the Thanos miniseries that came out? Like it was like 6 or 7 years ago.
His like origin story kind of thing, right?
Sort of. It kind of went back and forth. Like present day. Remember, he made the Hulk a pet. His pet.
Yeah.
No Infinity Gauntlet.
But we don't know what happened there.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Maybe I'm not remembering right.
But anyway, besides the point, the point I'm saying is that like I was watching that like the way Sam was going against the Red Hulk and wounding him, and the way it even ended, like when he stabs him and then like releases the kinetic energy. I thought that was cool. But like I'm just like thinking about it all like versus the comic book version. I'm like that none of that should have been possible. So I will say MCU's version of Red Hulk, okay, yeah, can be taken on by a super soldier or Sam with vibranium wings. But like if we're talking like the characters that they're based on, no fucking way. No fucking way. The Red Hulk, to give you an idea, the Red Hulk's base strength is stronger than the Green Hulk's. But the Green Hulk only has the advantage of unlimited strength potential, where the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets, and there's no limit. There's no upper limit to that. Okay. So if Banner and Ross can transform at the same time, let's say, Ross is stronger by a lot. But
okay. I didn't know that.
But Ross would only have the advantage for so long until Banner gets angry enough and flattens his ass. So that's why I was looking at all that and I'm like, man, this dude is supposed to be like a super strong Hulk at his base form. The only thing about Ross is that that's his limit. As soon as he transforms, he's at his upper limit of strength. It's not going to go anywhere, right? No matter how angry he gets. And he's red because of the heat, like you mentioned. But like, so I kind of disassociated, but I'll give it to the MCU's version. Okay, weaker, right? They didn't scale him right. Whatever they wanted to do, that's them. That's their decision. So fine.
I'm not a greedy guy. I'll take it. I'll take the baby. Not a greedy guy. I'll take it.
I'll give it that with an asterisk, because like if this was like comics Red Hulk, like for example, they fucking like Cap, like Steve Rogers, Cap is fucking ridiculous. Like he's ridiculously overpowered in the MCU, versus his comic book version. Like he's just so fucking like powerful for no reason in MCU.
Yeah,
but like cool. That's what got people to be like, yo, Cap is not to be fucked with, right? But like,
yeah, I actually went back and watched all Cap's fights, like through all the the movies. He's a season that just pulling shit apart.
He was like, and man, he had like no trouble except against Bucky. And that was to a standstill. That was to a standstill for them, and Red Skull, right? Because they're the same too. They're both super soldiers too. So it's like but Steve was just like so fucking powerful. Like in the comics, he is not like that. But he's got the mind, right? Like he's got the mind to win battles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but that's also as a result of the serum. The serum enhances all muscles, including the brain. You know?
Okay.
So Cap's got the mind to win battles. Cap's got the strength to, he's got super strength and all of that. But like, anyway, point is, MCU scales their characters differently from the comics.
Yeah, no doubt.
Red Hulk was that case, so I'll give that to you, but with an asterisk because.
Yeah, I thought the final scene was cool because just the imagery of it, the cherry blossoms, the Red Hulk is there. It was beautiful. It was a good scene,
yeah.
I thought it was definitely the missed opportunity because they brought up the Avengers. Sam is there going against the Red Hulk by himself. I just thought somebody was going to pop in. I was like, okay, this is the moment where we're going to see Ant-Man. We're going to see, some of these peripheral Avengers, come back into play. Some Wakandans, somebody's going to show up, And
I wish somebody else would have popped up too.
I thought like the best world building part of the whole movie was the Tiamat finally coming back. Because I like Eternals.
What did you guys think about that?
Eternals got a bad rap, but I like that movie. And this is the first time that Celestial has been mentioned. So they're saying word on the street is the Celestials are going to be the big bads coming up in future Marvel movies. Is that true?
Nah,
they're going to be the big bads.
You saw the after credit scene, right, D?
You
saw the after credit scene?
Yeah, I stayed for it. Right. So yeah,
maybe they might pop up, but they're like there were Celestials in the goddamn
because that's
Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's a world-ending threat.
Like they were just chilling.
I think you always need an overarching world-ending threat, and I think the Celestials fit that bill. But then the reveal of the adamantium, man, like
what did you guys think about adamantium coming from the Celestial?
I thought that was a creative idea. I feel like they had that idea in the pocket for a long time, and they just needed a place to use it.
Mm-hmm.
They could have done it literally in any movie between Eternals and this, but they decided to do it with this like years later.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they had that idea in the pocket for a while, which is a cool idea.
Yeah,
like
you got this deposit of adamantium, rare mineral,
and now now that opens up Wolverine, or the MCU's version of Wolverine.
Japan's got hands on it now,
right? So
you got some. There you go.
So,
well, wait, he doesn't get his adamantium in Japan, does he? No.
He
gets that shit in
Canada.
Yeah. America's enemy now.
God. But
life is too real.
Breaking news. News. Getting rid of Mexicans but keeping tacos?
Right.
Yeah, but like
that dude was just over it by the end of that shit. He was like, man, what the fuck, man? We've got 4 more years of this shit. Damn.
But so like I don't know, I guess to wrap up like my thing, and I guess I could just comment on anything else you guys got to say, but like I was impressed with some things about the movie, but I could see a lot of the mess and disjointed nature of it, and I thought it was fine the first time around. The second time around, I just saw more of the flaws, and I was just like, all right. So that's why my score is 5.5 out of 10.
Man,
yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah, I don't know if this movie's worth.
I kind of agree with.
I want to see it again. I just
I kind of agree with for one of the few times, but I kind of agree with like where the Rotten Tomatoes score was, like the high 40, early 50s,
low 50s,
Yeah, like I agree with that. I think it's like kind of right there in the middle somewhere, maybe a little bit above, but like it definitely could have. I think it could have. It should have stuck with one. It should have stuck with one or two threads and really hit it home. I felt like the movie lacked heart. I felt like the movie, because there was too much going on to focus on like any kind of heart or dilemma that Sam had. And I will also go ahead.
I don't know, man. Like Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just like.
I feel like Joaquin.
Maybe I don't want to conflate it.
I feel like Joaquin had the most heart of anybody. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Huh.
But the most heartfelt moment.
Why? What do you mean by heart then?
Well, I mean, like, you know, the most like the most to fight for, to go for. Like, he really wanted something out of this, right? Like, he really wanted to be seen and known, you know, like at the end when he was like, you know, that responsibility, that weight that's on you, I want that, man, you know, like I felt like he had like,
that was a good scene at the end, yeah,
you know, like
but Sam was trying to save his mentor, like that I thought was like that was a pretty good motivation. Like your homie just got framed, he's your mentor. He's a former Captain America, and you've been training with him, and
that was fine. That was fine, but I feel I like talking about what I was talking about before. Mm-hmm. I feel like if they really stuck with that thread, I feel like they wasted Isaiah in the movie. Like anytime Isaiah was on the screen, I was with it. I was like, I'm focused. I'm locked in. Right? Because
he was great.
Because he's a tragic character. You know, knowing what they did to him, or mentioning what they did to him, and then like kind of like the idea of like, fuck, they fucking like they used this dude in the worst ways possible. You know, like just put him out there as a guinea pig, and it's just like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Another thing that and I heard these people, a couple folks, there was a couple females and a few guys. They were probably on a date sitting next to me and my son. And the guy Isaiah Bradley popped up, and I mentioned this before in other shows, or ever since Disney Plus started doing their Marvel shows. They were like, "Who's that guy?" You know, I'm talking about Isaiah. Yeah. And one of the guys was explaining, "Hey, he's a Captain America too." And they were like, "He's a Captain America." You know, they had no idea who Isaiah Bradley was. So it's like you have to watch the shows to understand the movies. You know, I mentioned that before, that's always been a kind of an issue to me. I get it. You know, they need content for Disney Plus, but it's probably a lot more people who had no idea who the hell.
I mean, they should watch. They should definitely watch Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier, because I like the show, man. I went back and watched some of it. It's a good show. I'm sorry, I enjoyed the whip. I enjoyed Falcon and Bucky. Sam and Bucky, I like the whole thing.
I do think
I like seeing the other Cap. What's his name?
U.S. Agent. U.S. Agent.
I like seeing his story and his fall. Like
we can say the whole thing was cool. Watch it, but they had no idea who he was sitting in that movie. You know, so that can kind of pull you out of it sometimes.
It's the same with the comics, unfortunately. Like not a lot of people know about Isaiah Bradley and about how he's like. You know, about what they did to him and like his story. You know, it's out there. You know, go read it. It's a great story.
So Isaiah never popped up in the trailer. We had no idea he was in the movie.
Yes, he was.
No, he was in the trailer.
He was in the trailer. Okay.
They even showed the whole part. They even showed the whole part where he went rogue.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think they're doing a chase,
and then him jumping through the window.
The actor playing Isaiah Bradley. You could tell they had him kind of running through a little bit. I was like, dude, this dude is not running fast at all, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. They're gonna catch him. Just stop. You know.
I think he did fine.
He was good, but you know, you could just tell. Like,
hey, Sam training with Isaiah though. That shit was cool though.
It was
like you got to see how he like approached the whole Captain America situation, because he knows he doesn't. And he was like, "Yo, like
again." Hence why I think that was a thread that they should have pulled on a little bit more. You know, like this man is training Sam to be the new Captain America. What happens when a super soldier, when this super soldier goes rogue, and you're the person that has to bring him in. You know, as a regular ass human. You know, and you have this mental thing where you're like, this man, I look up to this man, and you know, and then the commentary about what they did to him and being a black Captain America, he's the only one that can relate. You know, like there's a lot there that they could have like really focused on.
I feel like they definitely could have cut some stuff out and made more room for that. Like
the movie definitely could have been shorter. Movie absolutely could have been shorter. I think it was like 20 minutes too long. Honestly,
like the Black Widow chick, man, was She did not have to be in there.
No,
and I don't want,
not at all.
And for me, not because like of her, like whatever, like she just didn't. Yeah, she just didn't have
anything to the movie, really.
Yeah, she didn't add anything. She kind of like babysat Bradley for a minute. Yeah. She like babysat him for a minute. Then she popped up at a place and she fought some guys for no reason, and then she followed them to the hideout. And she just didn't. Yeah,
I don't know,
have
man.
To be in there.
Like, I look at her, and I'm like, okay, fine, cool.
Give me some powers,
I'm like, you really expect me to believe that she was in the red room with all of those other widows in training, and she didn't get like destroyed? But
yeah, like she survived.
Damn, But
or like here, give her the bracelet things.
Yeah,
like the widow bracelets. Give her something. Like she just had a gun and like super fighting power. Like give her some give her some tools. Like make her a widow. I feel like they just said she was a widow, and I was like, just gotta take it. I guess.
Again, this was.
I would not have trusted that bitch within 100 feet of me.
No, but again, it was a reshoot thing. She was supposed to be a mutant in secret.
But, that would have been cool. That would have been cool.
They rewrote it to make her a widow instead. And again, that did not need to be mentioned whatsoever.
and it would have fit the narrative. It would have fit the narrative a little bit more if she would have been a mutant, because now you're introducing adamantium into the world, right? So it would have been a little better.
Like some people had issues because she was an Israeli. They said she was trained as an Israeli soldier as well. So there was definitely some issues there, given our current climate with the genocide and everything.
If I'm Sam,
people were definitely have some issues. Yeah.
If I'm Sam, I'm telling Isaiah, hey man, let's get you suited up, man, because I need some help, bro. Like I don't know where Hawkeye is. Bucky abandoned me. You know what I mean? I don't know where Ant-Man's at. I need some help, man. I need you to suit up, man. Let's get you suited, man. Let's get you suited and booted, man. What you doing here in this gym, man? You in retirement, man? You've been locked up for all these years, man. Come on, come do some good.
Yeah, he like fuck all that, Joe. He been like fuck all that, though.
Yeah, he was like fuck all that. He was like fuck all that,
man. Fuck all that. I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like they wasted Isaiah Bradley. Like I was locked in, and then when they captured him, I was locked in. Especially when he was like, "Don't touch my suit." And I'm like, no, not his suit. Like that's reminding me of his wife.
I agree with the suit at that point. Motherfucker, you shot at the president. Fuck your suit. You know what I'm saying? Like when they were tackling him to the ground.
He didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, we knew what was going on.
Now we know, but you just shot at the president, buddy. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna listen to you. You just went on a rampage through the White House. Like, fuck that suit. They ain't thinking nothing about your suit at that moment, bro. Like, you looking at with a bullet in your ass, bro.
That suit, that's.
I get it, yeah,
The only thing he has left of his wife, But
I'm glad there was that moment where the widow turned and realized Isaiah was innocent. Because I would have hated if they just thought he was the bad guy the whole movie and da da da. He was definitely wasted because he was one of the few.
I feel like he was wasted. I feel like he was wasted because they automatically threw him in jail. I think they captured him too fast. I feel like he should have been under mind control a bit longer. Like get away from the scene, right? Like make a getaway, and then kind of go from there. Chase him down, and then maybe he gets far enough away from the source of the whatever, or he doesn't have his phone on him or something, but he's still on the run and he doesn't know why. It just would have created a little bit more of a compulsion for them to use him more. But they capture him, boom, we got you, super soldier, and then we're throwing you in jail, super soldier, and it's like, what?
Yeah, I agree.
And then he spent the whole fucking time in jail, and I'm like,
cut out Widow and expand Isaiah Bradley's story in the movie. Yeah, that would have been better.
Yeah, that's fair.
That would have been better too. Yeah, but I mean, definitely the Red Hulk was easily the best part of the movie. What y'all think about Sam's new suit, man? I guess the actor said he wanted him to get rid of the cowl because you can imagine it's hot as fuck.
Yeah, he said that shit was hot as hell,
sweating and shit. Yeah, so
I thought it was cool. I like the suit.
Right? Yeah, I thought he used the wings.
I still like the white one better though.
I like the blue one better. I thought the one was cool, man.
I thought he was effective with the wings, vibranium, kind of a
shield, like the shield, the way he was absorbing and releasing that jump. That shit was cool.
Yeah, kind of had to give him some kind of power up because we all knew him being just a regular human, and I'm glad Sam acknowledged that because we all thought, what the hell? How are you going to be Captain America? You don't have any serum.
That was a reshoot, 100%.
Oh, like it had to be.
That was a reshoot, 100%.
What?
You know it. When he said I should have taken that damn serum,
yeah,
full of shit. That was a reshoot, 100%.
They probably watched our podcast like, what the fuck?
Because you might think it's a surprise, but there are a lot of people that feel the same way I do.
Wait, y'all didn't think? Wait. I'm confused. Like, we know Sam thinks that.
What do you mean? That he should have taken the serum?
Yeah.
So why is he spending all this fucking time fighting against it? Take the fucking serum. Stop it.
No, don't take the fucking serum because you don't need that shit.
Yes, he does need it.
At least against the Red Hulk. At least against the Red Hulk.
Even Sam admitted it. I should have taken that goddamn serum, though. If he had the serum and the suit.
The general point
is the whole idea is that when you go for look, do I gotta explain it? When you go to take power, it corrupts you. That's not how heroes gain power.
Then if that was the case, if Sam was capable of being corrupted, Steve would have never given him the shield. That's the whole point of Steve giving him the shield, because he knew Sam was pure.
Why do you think Steve chose him to give him the shield?
Because Sam is pure. He's not capable of being corrupted. If he thought there was a chance that Sam could be corrupted, so the serum.
This is all in line with Sam's character.
I don't think taking a serum has anything to do with corrupting.
Wait, hold on. So you mean to tell me that he spent 6 episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier and like 2/3 of this movie, well, 3/4 of this movie, fighting against taking the serum, and then all of a sudden with one line, that's been his idea all along? No,
what, to take the serum? No. What are you talking about? Wait, I don't know what you mean by fighting against taking the serum. It's a decision.
The whole Falcon and Winter Soldier. The whole Falcon and Winter Soldier.
So wait, remind me again. He had a chance to take the serum in Falcon and Winter Soldier. He did.
They would have given it to him. They would have given it to him if he asked for it.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta watch it again.
Because
like it was a thing,
US
and he decided not to.
U.S. agent was the one that they decided to give the serum to. They decided to make their own Captain America.
Where the hell is that guy at? Is he dead?
Thunderbolts.
Okay, yeah, Jesus, man.
Which I am very excited for, by the way. That looks so fun. Oh my god, I can't wait. I think that's going to be the standout this year, actually.
In the words of Claudine, I'll be skipping that one.
What?
I'm not. I'm gonna watch that, Joe.
I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm not excited.
It doesn't look like. I feel like they're going too. They're aiming too much for the comedicness of what you call it,
Guardians.
Suicide Squad. I feel like they're aiming for the comedic, like team, and I get it, it's like team. What's the word I'm looking for? Camaraderie. Right, mm-hmm. They have a team, so they're gonna be like, try to play off each other and stuff. But it looks fine, I guess.
Thunderbolts. They got a dope squad, and the fact that the name is still there, even though the asterisk means that it's like still pending, but like the fact that they got that squad, they have 3 super soldiers, a Black Widow, and fucking their villain is Sentry of all people.
Yeah,
they got to nerf him into the ground, but like
they're going to.
Sentry is their fucking villain, and I'm like, oh, they're fucked. How are they gonna get out of this one? But I'm excited for it either way. But
yeah, I'm definitely watching it.
But but yeah, that's they gave the super soldier serum to U.S. Agent instead.
Right,
and then
didn't he take it? Like he wasn't supposed to get it, but he took it anyway.
No, they gave it to him. They gave it to him straight up. Because remember, the government.
Why was Sam?
I feel like he took him when he wasn't supposed to.
No. They gave it to him straight up because remember they debuted him as the new Captain America. And like it was a whole press conference and everything. So
yeah, that was when he didn't have the serum.
He got he got the serum at that point.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'm misremembering. I gotta look it up again.
I can see Sam wanting to do some research on the adverse, health effects of taking the serum. But why the fuck would he?
There are none.
This
There are
isn't,
Why
none.
would he not?
this isn't the serum. The serum.
There
They
are
lost
no
it.
adverse effects.
That's not the same serum that Cap took. That's not the same serum Steve Rogers took.
True. The serum. So
But
the
is it
the serum that Steve Rogers has or had or whatever
was stolen by Buck?
is with no, it's with him. It's he's the
He's
last
got the only
person
one.
to have it because Erskine, the guy who created the serum for him, was killed.
Mm.
So they've been spent. So the government and whoever has been trying, and Hydra, whoever has been spending like decades trying to recreate the serum. Luckily for Bucky, in his case,
that's what the Hulk is. That's what
yes,
all these different like
Sentry, right?
Sentry, yeah.
So they've been spending decades trying to recreate that exact serum for Cap. Right, Isaiah Bradley is the first case of them trying to experiment with a working super soldier serum. Right, and so then you have others, right? Like you have the Hulk, and you have like it's just that. So Cap's Steve's super soldier serum is the last pure version. It's gonna die with him. So
where is old Steve? Where's old Steve Rogers in this world and in Captain America: Brave New World?
He's watching everything.
You're right.
He's watching everything.
Same thing I had with Infinity or Endgame, right? Like if old man Steve is there, if Cap went back in the past and he's watching all these events happen, why would he interfere? I feel like his honor would compel him to interfere and to help his best friend. You know what I mean?
Timeline, man. Can't mess with it.
Where the fuck was Steve?
Timeline, can't mess with it.
Yeah.
He knows that. And Steve being as old as he is and is not not aware of like modern science as he is.
yeah.
He is terrified. He is terrified to fuck with the timeline. He was it before. I can't step on that blade of grass. Oh fuck. Like he's terrified because he doesn't know. He doesn't understand it. So he's just like, I'm just gonna not do anything. I'm gonna let my younger alternate self take care of it. And then when it's his time, it's his time.
I know they already did this in Doctor Strange, but when the first mention of adamantium came up and they were in the meeting in the White House, like I thought they could have had like, I don't know, maybe Professor X sitting in the audience, just a little glance, a little something, a little teaser there for us or something like that. They missed the opportunity.
Bald head in the background.
Sure, but
and
like
even with Frank's idea of
just
them,
a glint of the bald head.
Of them like just a glint
of the light off of the baldness,
or a little theme.
Was that what it was?
A little music.
Like, you gotta look through the crowd and shit. Like, yo, was that
somebody? A bald head just rolled by at this level.
Leaves off.
Leaves the room.
They be talking.
Damn. But even like Frank said, like if you're gonna ask to rebuild the Avengers, do that at the end, even if you're not gonna do anything with it, because you didn't do anything with it anyway. And we just
rebuild the Avengers.
My overall issue with this movie is Marvel has not done a good job of building on projects post Endgame, man. Like, are we going to see Sam again? Is Sam going to come back for Captain America 2?
Yes.
Yes.
They say Captain America will return.
He didn't die.
We haven't seen Shang-Chi 2 yet. We haven't seen the Eternals 2.
Oh, that's not
Shang-Chi main line. Look, the main line is Captain America.
Shang-Chi is main line.
Well, I mean, like
he was invited.
That's the movie. That's the movie where Wong was talking to
Ant-Man is main line. Shang-Chi is main line. What's the other one?
Falcon.
Huh? No, not heroes. I mean like movies.
Oh, that's about it.
Fuck is Ant-Man? This is not another one?
No.
Okay, well, fine. It's Ant-Man, Shang-Chi,
Doctor Strange.
Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, I think is the main line. Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, but he's dead. So we're gonna have Iron Heart. Yeah, calm down. You know nothing about it. Everybody calm down. God damn it.
No one likes Ironheart. No one. Not even the comics. No one likes her. Her comics just don't do well at all. Like they just cannot find the good writers.
Black Panther mainline.
Yeah,
that's fine. Panther. Like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man mainline.
These
are the movies. Huh?
Spider-Man's not mainline in as far as the Avengers thing go. Like not anymore because Spider-Man 4 is going to be Sony.
I did hear they're working on the Spider-Man. Yeah,
MCU's not doing Spider-Man 4. Nah.
Well, there's going to be X-Men then.
Sony's going to
whatever it is.
X-Men and Fantastic Four.
And Fantastic Four
mainlines.
Yeah. So like I think that's where they're building off. Like they're definitely going to bring Shang-Chi back around, but I don't think it's going to be like
that's the movie I was trying to think of earlier.
If I have to predict.
In Shang-Chi, they went to visit Wong, and Wong was talking to Bruce Banner, and I think Captain Marvel, was he talking to her?
Marvel. Yeah.
On the. So I'm like, there's still people around. Like nobody popped up in Captain America. Yeah, I'm just worried that this is not going to go anywhere, and like, why should I care, kind of thing, But I definitely think you can build. Y'all
so anxious to get to the end, like. They're building it, man. We building the tower as we go.
You can build a saga.
I'm not anxious to get to any end because there's no end in sight. Like there, look, I feel like
we know
Doomsday.
Mm-hmm. That's coming up.
Yes.
Right. And so let's talk about they got a plan. I'm telling you, they're not doing this shit without a plan. Look, guys,
they gotta prove it to me all over again.
Look, I need you guys.
Post credits.
Yes, let's talk about that post credit scene. All right?
Look, Thor: Love and Thunder haven't gone anywhere.
Thor, that's the other one. That's the other one. Thor.
At the end of that, nothing since Guardians 2 or Guardians.
Why would they have another Thor movie? It wasn't that long ago.
Thor: Love and Thunder was like 2 years ago. It was like two and a half.
That's right. I only saw it recently.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I'm telling you, man, like they're doing it a little bit at a time. This is how it works.
You can definitely build around the Fantastic Four and X-Men, though. You can definitely build up around those two.
Yes, you absolutely can, and I feel like there's a gap. There's a gap as far as Avengers go that can easily be filled by the young Avengers. They've got a decent sized squad of young Avengers. Maybe that can inspire an Avengers
or Mighty Avengers
level thing. Or Mighty Avengers, right? Level thing. But like the Young Avengers exists right now. We have 4 of them, and there are 5 of them to start. So like, let's do something with that, right? At least you've got that. So why not? Let's start there.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you, that's what they're doing. But all right, so last part before we jump topics, because it's already almost 11. The last part, the after credit scene. Wow.
Pointless.
Y'all think what I'm thinking?
Pointless. I thought it was pointless and it wasn't necessary. That's what I'm thinking.
I sat here for this. That's what I was thinking at the end of this shit.
That's it.
Okay.
What do you mean?
We know somebody else is coming. There's a giant celestial in the freaking ocean. You know what I mean?
Who do you think the others are?
The other universes.
No, he said the others are coming when they come. When he says, do you guys know? You're not the only world. You're not the only universe. Who's going to protect you from them? From the others?
The other heroes.
The other heroes.
Yeah, he's talking about the other worlds. The other worlds that start collapsing, and then he said there's going to be a champion. Who's going to be the champions? Champion incursions.
He didn't say that at all. He said something about the other. He said something about the who's going to protect you when they come, when the others come.
I thought he said the other champions. Hold on, man.
No, he didn't say anything about champions. I just remember him saying the others, and that's it. So who
do you think he was talking about, or who do you think he was talking about?
I don't know.
It could be anything in any goddamn body.
It could be anyone. That's the point. Like it's just like, what are you talking about?
Wait, have this over here.
Like the others. Who
That's why
are the
I
others?
agree. In hindsight, the Avengers teaser would have been better there, even if it wasn't going to go anywhere. It just would have been like it got you excited. Okay, I want to see what's coming next. You know, I want to see what's going to happen next. So
I feel like
Sorry, I'm just gonna play this one.
like the others, like it was very general, and
it was definitely in general. Like, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't care anything about anything you're saying right now, bro. And you know, if I'm Sam and he's telling me that, I'm like, dude, I need to get them help. Okay, Isaiah, let's get you a suit. Let me go get Bucky. You know.
Last thing I want to say before we close this conversation. Leader looked whack. The leader looked like trash.
The leader, that's the guy with the big brain.
Yeah,
he was trash. Like what the hell? I totally forgot about that guy getting blood dripped on him. I'm glad they showed a flashback because I was like, who the fuck is this guy? You know.
At least they brought him back, which was cool.
Wait,
but like, I felt like they wasted him.
All right, he says, all you heroes protecting this world. Do you think you're the only ones? Do you think this is the only world?
Right.
We'll see what happens when you have to protect this place from the others, from the other heroes. All the heroes protecting this world, do you think you're the only ones, the only heroes? What will happen when you have to protect this place from the others, other heroes?
What? Okay, that's one interpretation.
That's okay. That's what I'm expecting.
Another interpretation could be the others could be anything.
So why did he mention the heroes protecting this world?
Because that's a generic ass statement. That's why, because they are heroes protecting this world.
And what happens when you have to protect this world from the others?
That's more of a semantics thing, but like I interpret it as it could be it's a giant fucking question mark.
Okay, like, it is.
The others could mean literally anything. That's one interpretation. Yes, it could be other heroes. It could be other villains. It could be fucking other chickens. Who the fuck knows? The statement was too general. Like I'm just like that was not necessary whatsoever. And we had to wait till the end. We had to wait till the end of the fucking credits, like all of the credits.
That was mean. That was mean. The lights were on, and I was Googling, is there an after credit scene? That's fucked up.
Everybody does that.
Why y'all do that?
Is there a post credit scene?
I didn't have to do that.
There could have been a mid credits. That could have been a mid credit scene, guys.
I do that shit. Let me say. I go to Alien Romulus and Google, is there a post credit scene in Alien Romulus? You know?
Oh yeah.
I do that shit with every movie now.
But you know, even I don't know. My anticipation of my prediction is that they're talking about. So I just watched Loki season 2. What we know from Loki season 2
for the first time.
I finally watched Loki season 2. I still haven't watched. Yeah, me too. It's really good. We know what's happening there. Motherfucker's he's holding the threads. So they don't collapse. And I didn't see Wolverine versus Deadpool yet, or Wolverine Deadpool yet. But I will. Okay. But if I'm guessing, I'm guessing the threads are still collapsing.
But it's a long ass collapse. There's no even at Doctor Strange, at the end they had the time begin, right?
Like you have a guy at the end of time sitting there, right? Well, there was whatever. Like time doesn't really matter in this, right? What matters is timelines. So but here's what I immediately thought about. I immediately thought that because you got Loki holding up the threads are still collapsing. He's not gonna be able to hold his bitch forever, right? And so when the guy said, "You the heroes," I did the calculations. You heroes protecting this world. What will you do when you have to protect the world from the others? And on top of that, I'm thinking also. Fantastic Four is clearly not set in the same world we just watched.
Why wouldn't you think that?
Well, okay. Look at
from the way
look
they-
at where
yeah.
look at the
From
cars.
the
Look at the
sets and all
style
that
of the
shit, yeah.
buildings. If they're in
That-
New York,
It is
that's
like
not how New
retro-
York looks.
That's true. It's like retro futuristic.
Mhm.
Yeah. This is a different world. And then if it's in the past, they would have remembered Galactus popping up. I feel like because we saw Galactus's big ass head at the end of that shit.
Well,
I saw it. Y'all saw it too.
Yeah.
We're talking about. I'm talking about what I'm thinking about. And this is my prediction. Is that we got goddamn Fantastic Four, Galactus, that Doom, who's Tony Stark, is not our Doom because he's dead.
That's different.
So that's gonna be that Doom from it's gonna have to be a Tony Stark from another universe or whatever. So we know that. Then we have all the shit going on. Look, timelines are collapsing. We're gonna have to come down to one. We're gonna have the champions. What's it called? The Battle of Champions. Contest of Champions. That's what we're heading towards. We have a smart Hulk. We have a smart Hulk in this universe. I'm just anticipating, Maestro. That's all I'm saying.
A whack Hulk.
We got a smart Hulk.
That would have been a cooler.
That's because he's not motivated.
If Mark Ruffalo showed up,
all we need is a motivated, smart Hulk to do what needs to be done to save his world.
So I think there's some credence to your theory as far as Fantastic Four not being from. I didn't think about that because the reason why I didn't automatically go there is because you remember Ant-Man, the first one. Remember the beginning, right? Where about Hank Pym and the Pym particles, and about how SHIELD wanted to co-opt the Pym particles and be able to use it for their own purposes, nefarious or not. And Hank was like, "Fuck y'all, I'm not doing that." So he punches the dude out and then he leaves. Like none of that stuff was known about, but it turned out to play a pretty important role later on in the future or in the present timeline at that point, right? Okay. So it's like I thought the Fantastic Four. I thought the Fantastic Four would have been like that, right? Maybe it's like the Fantastic Four was kept a secret. Maybe they were forgotten about, or they were purposely meant to be forgotten about, or the mission to space was supposed to be a super secret because they came back with powers, And it was maybe one of the first examples of them of them being metahumans in that regard. And so the government's oh my God, no, we got to keep this under wraps. I thought it was a clever idea to place them in a different timeline or different timeline, but or a time frame. But I saw the retro futuristic look and I was like, oh, that's a neat design idea, but I didn't think that they were from a different world. That's possible.
If it's set in the 70s, which is the only time 60s. I'm thinking about, or 60s. If it's set in the 60s, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like
that could have been a flashback. Could have been something,
Isaiah Bradley was locked away. And he was a goddamn political prisoner and all this other stuff. Then you got guys in the comics, they had the Blue Marvel, the guy, and they just he was just no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna hide out for a while and pop up. So it's possible, but at the same time, it looked like the Fantastic Four were spectacles, as they usually are. They're not really secretive people.
No, it's not. I'm not saying it's through their own.
But that was just my
through any fault of their own that things were kept under wraps. I'm thinking I was just thinking that maybe there was because of the nature of how they got their powers and the mission to space was government sanctioned, so the government felt that they had to control them and their image and everything like that. I don't know. I don't know. Where this version of Reed, gets the funding for all of his inventions and the suits and everything. So it could be government funded in that period of time or in that timeline even, right? And so we don't know. I just thought in my mind it didn't click for me that maybe they're from another world. I just thought that they were just that was just design choices for the retrofuturistic look, and then having it take place in the 60s, so as to remove it from the MCU that we know to this day, right? And that would also predate. It wouldn't predate Captain America, the first Avenger, but it would predate like Captain Marvel. It would predate Avengers, like the lead up to Avengers, Iron Man, and things like that. So they could get away with a lot more. I feel like in the 60s, in that time frame, because the only real like vision that we had into like the 60s 70s era was that beginning scene of the first Ant-Man movie with Hank Pym, but that was like really focused and specific to him and his invention in that situation. But like Fantastic Four, like you said, is more of it could be more of a grand thing, almost treating them like astronauts, right? Like, like the celebrity,
like a family of astronauts,
right? Like that, but like they just came back with powers, you know. So that's interesting. I didn't think about that, but I don't think that has anything to do with what the leader said, though. It could. But
that's the first thing I thought about when he said that, John. And he said,
"Because like what, like
heroes,
the X-Men,
he's sneering at the heroes.
The X-Men could be a part of that too, because
and remember, like
the Marvels, right? Like Monica,
exactly. She dropped off in another verse.
She's in another timeline with the X-Men.
Yeah.
So like Monica is stuck there until she finds a way back. And I'm pretty sure when she comes back, she's going to come back with the X-Men, or at least give them a way to come into the MCU.
I mean, that could be the same universe as the Fantastic Four.
It could be.
But
So
hey, if this is the lead up to
with that, now I kind of understand where you're coming from. With maybe
seems a little bit exciting, right?
It is exciting. I'm excited for Fantastic Four. Like I'm crazy excited for Fantastic Four.
I'm excited.
I just want to see Maestro.
I'm excited. I saw this guy the other day was talking about this is this is DC's chance to strike, right? If this Superman movie nails and it's as good as it's supposed to be, this is the point where DC can actually overtake Marvel, And to me, that's kind of true. Marvel's kind of hit a plateau where like they have all these threads. Yeah, they have Beast in the Marvels, and yeah, they have the guy at the end talking about the others and all this, but they're not pulling on any of this shit enough. Time doesn't matter as far as the movies, but it matters in the real world. And it's like, where the hell are we going with all these projects, bro? What's happening? What's the end goal here? You know what I mean? Like, we saw what we were building towards post Endgame, or pre Endgame, but like, where are we going, man? Like, I think that I'm excited for the Fantastic Four. Don't get me wrong. Does that come out this year? It comes out 2025?
Yes, sir. It's gonna be stacked.
But Superman is next. Superman's next for me. That's my next.
Superman.
Let's go.
And Fantastic Four come out the same month.
Oh, dope. Yeah. So July. Yeah. Oh, July's gonna be dope.
Nice. Yeah.
Which one comes out first?
Superman.
Yeah. That's man.
And then 2 weeks later, Fantastic Four.
Nice. Well, we'll see what happens with Fantastic Four. I my faith in Marvel starting to slip. I like this movie. Really? I like Captain America: Brave New World, but I'm scared it's not going to go anywhere. We're not
guys, let me say, I'm back in, man. Like I finished Loki. All you need, I watched Love and Thunder. I think my faith has been renewed with this movie. With Captain America.
Well, some of us faith has been renewed, man. Some of us more than others. With Captain America,
I don't know if this movie is
my faith has stayed neutral.
Ye of little faith, you must stay the true path.
Stay the course, right? Stay the course. Yeah,
stay the course.
Oh, my bad. Dr. K's been commenting.
Oh shit! I don't even know mine. Hold on.
So the first thing she said, Cap 6 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay, I kind of, not everybody was going to like it, Not everybody was going to like it. I told you, these people next to me were like, who is this Isaiah Bradley guy? They don't know. And a lot of people, I guarantee they haven't watched season 2 of Loki. So if that ties into the movies at all,
but to that point, you know, like they could have explained who Isaiah Bradley was, and
And maybe cut out the Black Widow and focus more on Bradley. Yeah, give them some backstory. You know, they're kind of all assuming that we've seen this, and luckily I had, but a lot of people didn't. You know,
Harrison Ford could have been Jesus' father.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Sam self-doubt. He had already done that in the previous movie. Stearns was everywhere. How? I'm not sure. That's probably in an earlier part of the conversation.
Stearns was teleporting.
Yeah,
you know, and
true. That was one part that bothered me. Like he just popped up places.
And for a guy that calculates probability, he was wrong a lot in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I don't think he truly knows. Who truly knows the human heart? You know, I don't think he showed his mastermindedness enough. He was just like a guy. Mind was ugly. You know.
The thing about him is that he made, like, I agree to a point where he made some wild moves, like some wild decisions. Like once, you know, you had like, because he called Sam. What did he call Sam? He said, you're an anomaly, or you're like a problem, and I'm going to solve you, or some shit like that. When they were in the facility, but then it's like, don't die. The serum. He said, "Don't die before you do that." So I don't know, but Sabra, the Israeli former soldier, big no. Yeah. I think we were talking about when we were saying about how she should be nowhere near the president. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like Black Widow. Like, yeah, what kind of brainwashing techniques did they use in the Red Room on you? You know, you need a leader of the United States. Are you crazy?
But she also, how do you know Steve is still alive? So the events of this movie don't take place too far from Endgame. It's probably like 2 or 3 years after Endgame. So let's say 5 years. The super soldier serum keeps Cap alive at that point, even though he's a lot older in that sense, in that respect. But like, the super soldier serum keeps them alive.
He would be older than Isaiah Bradley. Yeah, obviously, right? Yeah,
it's like 120 something.
Hey, so Peggy, that's his love, right? Peggy was
90.
Yeah, she was like on hospice, like when we last saw her.
Come on.
Sorry, but like, you know, excuse me, but he's gonna be back. He's gonna run out of shit to do soon, man. Like
Sam will be.
I'm sorry, I don't want to put it harshly, but
Sam will
you're gonna have a lot of free time soon.
Hey man, come on, man.
Then what? What you gonna do then?
I'm just saying.
Just saying. I don't know.
Let's not forget Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park's also in July 2nd. Yeah, July's going to be Mission Impossible also. I think Mission Impossible is also in between.
How many Mission Impossibles are they going to do, bro? Jesus Christ, man.
Part is number 8. And I think this is supposed to be Tom Cruise's last one, but he said that before, so we'll see.
But when I saw the first Mission Impossible, you had no idea they were going to flip this into this kind of a franchise.
Yeah, I love the first one, man. That shit was great.
I like the first 2 or 3. The first 2 or 3 movies were pretty good, and then
3 is still 6 and 3 are still my favorite ones.
Yeah, 3 was good.
3 was really fucking good. Yeah,
I'm sure I saw it.
3 was a huge step up. He was 500 years old. Steve?
Oh, 500 years old? Know, that's how old he looks.
Oh. Yeah. He was like in his hunt. He was like well into
Isaiah Bradley didn't look as old as Steve did, though.
Nah, he didn't.
I would imagine this
Black don't crack, even with the super serum.
I know.
Hey, that super soldier serum, man. Plus Black don't crack.
I feel like they got to play Isaiah Bradley was a perfect choice. Like a bigger, older guy. Like perfect choice. Like just looks the part, 100%.
He was swinging that heavy bag around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I'm suiting Isaiah up, man. Like, dude, I'm gonna need your help, man. All right, suit up, man. Let's go. You know, time to get off your ass, man. You are a super soldier, man. Let's do it. Let's get this done. You know. He's sitting around here in the gym, you know.
He gonna beat your ass.
Hey, the hell no, man. He ain't gonna beat my ass, man. I'm Sam, bro.
His personality is like he'll tell Sam "fuck you" real quick.
Oh, he was definitely bitter. He was bitter as shit.
He was like
he wasn't as bitter in this movie as he was.
Honestly, I like that relationship, man. Like Sam was like, because remember he looked at him at one point, and Sam was like, "Oh shit, did I fuck up?"
He's like, "Say that again."
I'm just fucking with you.
He's like, "Say that again."
He should have been a bigger part of the movie because, like, after he got locked away, we just didn't see anything about him. Like, at least he could have came back, like in the end, to kind of help Sam a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
yeah, I guess he didn't. You know, I mean, he had vibranium wings, you know.
Yeah, man.
So,
kind of looking out.
A good movie. I didn't hate it. I'm just nervous that it's not going to go anywhere. And we've seen this story before with other Captain America movies. So
I wish we'd have seen his relationship with Wakanda though.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would have been cool.
Contact did he have there? Was he still in touch?
Like maybe
Shuri?
A phone call, maybe like like you hit up Shuri, you know, something. That would have been cool. I feel like just to have it in there.
So y'all remember
they should have hit up Shuri instead of Bucky popping in.
So
y'all hit up Shuri.
So
I thought Bucky was good though.
I think there was a theory floating around that you remember Ross's aide, the black woman. Apparently there's a theory floating around that she was a Wakandan.
Oh,
in disguise. I don't know about a Dora, but maybe a Wakandan in disguise. Because if she was a Dora, she would have to, appear like bald head and such.
She could be wearing a wig.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
who knows? Like
Okoye hated the fucking wig. That was funny. But apparently, they were saying that she was a Wakandan in disguise. There's a theory. It's just a theory, but like
that was his contact in there.
Right. That would have made a lot more sense. That would have exactly. But again, that's a thread they didn't pull at. Like he just knew her, and she was just there.
It would have expanded the world.
He just knew her because she was black.
She was black.
All black people know each other.
Right.
All right, guys, come on.
No, I mean that's literally
that was really
though.
it. Yeah, that was it.
And to that, she also didn't need to be there, like at all.
The fact that he still had some contacts.
I didn't mind it either, but like it just she didn't have anything to.
She was better than the. I feel like the Sombra. Whatever. Yeah.
But like I feel like if they had pulled at that thread and revealed or
maybe a romantic interest,
something. But like it seemed like their relationship was very like what is this? Like we don't know what this is, other than I have a contact in there, and is it her? It could be anyone. It could be Bucky, for all we know, because he's like I got a contact in the government that makes sure that that people don't go astray. So I'm like, is that Bucky or is it this woman?
In the government.
Look, little side note. I don't know why this just popped into my head, but I'm mad they didn't kind of CGI Harrison Ford a little bit at the end when he turned from the Red Hulk back to his regular self. You know what I mean? They just had my man Harrison Ford like 88. Yeah, they had him 88. He's standing out there with his chest out and shit. I was like, hey, come on, man. Like
hey, man, you got
a little CGI on the man. Make him, you know what I mean? Make him look good, man. Come on.
He looked old as shit.
Was old as shit.
He looked old as shit standing there with no shirt on.
Maybe Harrison Ford didn't want that to happen. He is a gives no shit old man right now at this point. Probably his idea. It's probably like, no, I want to go out there. And I want them to see all of me.
Yeah,
this is what happens.
CGI these nuts.
I don't want to wear pants.
Yeah,
CGI my ass.
Yeah, man.
I want them to see every single hair. But yeah, like
I guess when you're Harrison Ford, you don't really need the money. So, like, yeah, I mean, you can just kind of go at your own terms at this age, at this point,
Yeah.
So Harrison Ford is probably an asshole in real life, man.
He's almost 90.
Yeah.
Most people,
I'd be an asshole too at 90.
Most people are.
Assholes are not even that old.
He didn't like playing his beloved character. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, come on, man. That's one of the most beloved characters you probably ever played, you know? The Han Solo, man, like, you know, because I heard he had a problem playing him. He didn't want to come back in the new movie for him. But
they waited too long.
Anyway. Yeah. Tragic how he died, man.
Yeah. Anyway, cool. So, all right. I think this topic is dead. I think our ratings are fair, right?
Okay, real quick. Do you guys think that we specifically get Captain America: Brave New World 2? Do you think there's a part 2 coming?
Brave New World 2? No.
Do you think there's anything happening after this that's going to involve Sam? Does he get another movie?
Yes.
Captain America.
Yes.
Obviously, 100%.
In an Avengers movie.
But he doesn't get his own solo.
Maybe not until after the Avengers movie if it does well enough.
Look, I'll say I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But only but not because of anything that has to do with like Sam Wilson as Captain America. I just know it's a temporary position.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not going to hold this position forever. He just doesn't.
Yeah,
because he's black. But like, look, hey, y'all don't want to call him DI. Like, look, the whole thing is that like, look, he's going to hold his role. He got the role. He's going to hold his shit down. He's going to do good. He's going to lead the Avengers, and he's just not going to do this role anymore. Same fucking Captain. Steve Rogers ain't do shit anymore after that. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's gonna happen after this. For real, like all these actors are getting older.
That's true.
Like, they're getting older, man. Like I looked at, you saw the old clips, man, of like fucking Mackie when he was like in Winter Soldier,
mm-hmm.
you know. And now, man, everybody getting older, man. Like,
but I thought he did a good job.
We gotta spin this shit up.
It's funny.
Yeah,
it's funny too because they canceled like 3 Disney Plus projects, Marvel Disney Plus projects, like this past week.
Really? What were they?
They canceled Armor Wars. They canceled. There were like 2 others but I remember Armor Wars being a big one. I was like, whoa, that was supposed to be like Rhodey's, whole thing, and they canceled it. Not working on it anymore. So
I hate like this shit. Like this is capitalism fucking shit up again. Like. Guys, like be confident in your shit, man. Like
it's not about the quality.
It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic, dude. Like people want the stories. You got an audience. You got people subscribed. Just do the fucking thing. Like what the fuck? Like just do it. Just do it.
Like you said, it's not about the quality, man. It's about the money.
It's about the money, man.
Do the thing. Yeah,
just
man.
do the thing, man. Damn. But nah, man. Like. If you got to calculate every goddamn penny, you're not gonna. You're gonna wind up. They're gonna wind up with subpar bullshit. That's it.
I get it. When you have such a big, huge investment, you want a return on that
investment. These motherfuckers excuses, D. They got more money than God.
You do. You want a return.
They got more money than God. How much more investment do you do? All they're doing to get that investment is cutting corners on our ends. That's all they ever do.
I think they would get a larger return on investment if they told more cohesive stories between these movies, bro.
There's not enough cohesion to make up for the money, man. Like you got to spend money to make the money. There's never gonna be enough cohesion, right? Like we hit peak. All right, we already did that shit. Remember?
They can do it again. They can.
Well, guess what? Guess how you get there.
There's not a unity of vision.
To get there, you gotta spend the money and do the shit. You gotta actually do it.
Yeah.
But they're just like, no, we want to hurry up and jump to the peak. Like
they want to make money. That's
they just want to get to the peak to make the money off the peak, but they gotta build the fucking peak.
So
they're shortcutting the build.
So if Superman comes out this summer and kills it, and let's just say hypothetically, Fantastic Four is trash, has DC officially overtaken Marvel after this, or?
No,
you still need to see 1 or 2 more projects.
One movie?
Marvel.
That is ambitious.
Even if it's a Superman movie,
What's the Superman movie? Like a clear 10 out of 10, bro. Like that.
It's not going to be. Not with them goddamn shoulder pads, is it?
Yeah, that suit is terrible. This suit is terrible, bro.
Besides the
Crypto
point,
can only go so far. All right?
Besides the point,
Crypto's only gonna go so far. Though.
There's
like,
no way.
Besides
looking at the money, there's no way Superman. Well, I mean, there is a way, but it's just like a 0.00001%
Are we
chance.
talking about Robert Pattinson and fucking Batman when this shit is if they bring son, no.
I loved Robert Pattinson as Batman. I loved it. But
I know, but I don't know.
But no, I'm saying like there's like Superman would have to make like $500 billion.
Yeah.
That's not fucking happening.
That's not fucking happening.
Pump and dump his own cryptocurrency for that bitch to pull that off, right?
I don't know if it's necessarily about the money. It could just be about the entertainment factor. Like, what if people are clearly just? What if they're just entertained by Superman? You know what I mean? What if Superman is like it gets a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes?
That means they make more. That means they make more movies, but they're still going to need time, which means the one movie will not be the MCU killer.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's gonna take a while. They need to build the good faith first.
Mm-hmm.
If Superman is a 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, whatever. They're going to make more of them, and they're going to start building off of that universe, and then they're going to do things the way things have been done for the past like 15, 17 years, you know?
Yeah.
So the one movie, like I said, it needs to make like $500 billion because Marvel Studios is a multi-billion-dollar earning studio.
There's no way DC's going to catch up.
In cahoots with Disney. There's no way that one movie, not in our lifetime, but there's no way that one movie is going to clean sweep 17 years of good faith, even though the faith is kind of shit right now.
Yeah.
Real shit though. They should have stuck with what they were doing with The Rock, man. With the
Black Adam and all that.
Black Adam, and they had Cavill back in there, and you had the Hawkman, and bro, they should have stuck with it. Now they got to start all the way over.
That probably was
a bad move.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League and all that. Yeah, circumstances, man. Just they had to kind of pivot.
You have to keep Zack Snyder for a reboot.
Yeah.
They should have just done a reboot. Should have picked up from left off and kept it moving, but nope. They don't want to listen to me. They ain't listen to me.
They can capitalize. That's
where they fucked up at.
It all starts with Superman. This is a big movie.
My email address, man.
Well, I mean, it was the same with Man of Steel. It all started with Man of Steel. Well, supposedly Green Lantern, but like Man of Steel was the real like the linchpin point, right? Like that was the anchor point, if you want to call it that. And Man of Steel was good. It was great. And they were like, okay, we're going to make more. But then they jumped straight to Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
They should have done a Superman 2. Yeah.
They should have done a Man of Steel 2.
Yeah.
Right? Or call it Man of Tomorrow or something. But like, they should have done a Man of Steel 2 first. And then maybe introduce Batman in that. And then we have, do it the way Marvel's been doing it, right? Like, have these characters with their own movies, then build up to Justice League or build up to the Batman Superman crossover at the very least.
Like they're doing now.
So
this is a big movie for DC, man. This Superman movie coming out.
Oh yeah, Superman movies are always events.
Yeah, it's big for their cachet right now overall.
Number one,
Marvel is very disjointed, and their faith is shaken in Marvel lately, and if this movie comes out and hits, I mean, it could elevate DC, not above Marvel, but at least back into that same stratosphere that Marvel has.
It's a start.
Like
It'll be a start. It'll be a start. Like real talk. I have a fear about Superman.
Do too. I hope it's not corny.
Is it the shoulder pads?
No, it's not the shoulder pads, man. But like,
it might be corny a little bit.
I feel like James Gunn, like now at this point, we've seen enough of his movies. Like he seems to only know how to make one kind of movie, and I feel like we're gonna just see Guardians of the Galaxy, but with Superman characters.
Did you watch Creature
Commandos. No,
yeah,
I haven't actually. No, I haven't. It's
just Suicide. It's just Suicide Squad slash Guardians of the Galaxy. It's great. I love it.
I heard it's really good.
It was really good. It's amazing.
But like I watched Peacemaker. Peacemaker was a really good show. But again,
I want to watch that.
It was pretty much Guardians of the Galaxy, except just with one guy.
He just got that humor.
Not even with one guy. It was with like a bunch of people. You know,
it's a comedy.
Like, you know, it's like it seems like he knows how to only make like one movie. So I'm hoping that like he needs to really have a fine balance with the character of Superman. We're talking about number one pop culture hero in America, right? Like he needs to have a balance with Superman. And while he's got all these other people coming in, and that's great, I think he needs to be a little more serious when he needs to be in this regard with Superman. So we'll see. I'm just a
my popcorn bucket. I was just looking at D's shirt. I got my popcorn bucket.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
Got the wings on that jump.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw one of those, and I was like, I'm not paying for that shit. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Paying for that shit. It looks like
Marvel has shaken my face, bro. There's no cohesion between it. The first element of cohesion is the Celestial popping up. I was so happy that guy popped up. I'm like, okay, finally. Like the guy popped up. How many years ago did Eternals come out? 5, 6 years ago. They just now mentioned that, you know? Like we were wondering where the fuck is it? I mean, nothing about Thor ever since the end of Thor: Love and Thunder. Doctor Strange, that was a good movie. Nothing about that at the end. They ripped through the time. They need to go repair a time rift. We haven't heard anything, you know? So it's like everything is just so disjointed, man. I don't have any faith. And
I rebuke thee.
I wish Marvel.
Have little faith. Get away from me, Satan.
I wish Marvel was better right now because that was a very, you know, I probably remember that time of those Marvel movies, that 10-year stretch, like forever, man. We'll compare movies in the future 10 years from now to that 10-year stretch of movies.
10 years.
Man,
it was just
10 years.
Movie after movie of just, it was like a live comic book playing out on the screen, you know?
Out of 17.
It's crazy.
You know? Like Endgame came out 2019.
And remember, guys, they weren't all amazing.
6 years ago.
They were
not all amazing.
Right. All right, so guys,
most of Phase 1 only had two and a half good movies.
What was the half?
I think like Captain America: The First Avenger was.
I like that. It was decent.
I thought it was fine too, but it was just like it had that like origin story problem, where there was just a lot of unfinished, unclear things, but like they stepped it up in a big way with Winter Soldier, right?
Oh,
like,
Winter Soldier was like
a huge swing in the other direction.
Espionage movie,
just like really super focused and like a really threatening villain and it's personal, and it's just like there was so much about that movie was just so fucking good. It's still the reason why Winter Soldier is still at the top of most people's lists of MCU films, you know. So like, but Iron Man and Avengers were the two Phase 1 movies that were like really good.
Civil War.
That's Phase 3.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Phase 1, Phase 2. Phase 2 had I don't even remember much of Phase 2. Winter Soldier was Phase 2. Winter Soldier was Phase 2. Guardians of the Galaxy was Phase 2. So yeah, that's some good stuff. Civil War is Phase 3. But yeah. Anyway. And I think we should move on, guys. It's been 2 hours.
All right. Yeah. All right. So damn. All right. So let's go on to the next topic. I have a definition. Or Frank, you want to present this one? No?
Sure.
Right.
So the other day, I came across this video that talks about John Henryism. And you're like, what the hell is that? So John Henryism is if you listen to the name, you kind of like figure out what it is. But The definition is it's a psychological concept that describes a coping style characterized by high effort, determination, and perseverance in the face of adversity. It's named after the legendary African-American folk hero John Henry, who was known for his strength and endurance in a race against a steam-powered drill. The video that I shared with the group was focused on how a lot of Black men have John Henryism almost innately, and have grown up with it most of their lives, and a lot of us even die. Die to our dying day. Just high effort, determination, and perseverance, working for the goal of providing for our families, for providing for ourselves, but most importantly, for feeling like we matter in society. And D brought up a point where, as Black men, we're already we already have a strike just by the color of our skin, and we have to work that much harder in order to be seen and accepted. And a lot of people might think okay, I don't care to be accepted by people who see me as less than, and that is a perfectly fine stance to take, but it affects a lot of people in very negative ways. Even though it seems like high energy, high effort and determination, yeah, we can do anything, but the psychological toll that it takes on the individual who experiences this, it could be fatal. It can be fatal. It has potential to be severely psychologically damaging, or it takes a toll on our mental health. So I just I shared the video with these guys, and I wanted to just kind of talk about it. I can say that I have experienced this. I do experience this on a day-to-day basis. Most of my work ethic is honestly, it seems to be striving for something that I don't know where the finish line is, right? I don't know if I'll ever be I feel accepted by myself, by my family, by the people that matter. But I feel like myself and other individuals who share this don't see an end in sight. We will continue to work for as long as possible until our bodies are physically unable to, and at the detriment of our physical and mental health. And I don't think that it's something to be praised or something to be looked up to. It's a concept to be looked up to. I just feel like it's something that we should talk about or discuss, so we can learn how to manage it and maybe find another way so that it doesn't literally kill us.
Yeah, I remember when you presented, when you put that video in the group chat, that explanation when the lady forgot her name, Raquel Martin. So she had a whole a little TikTok, or not TikTok, but she had a whole breakdown of the symptoms and how it impacts Black men. And what she was explaining, the concept of John Henryism, and it's essentially the whole idea of a Black man having to prove himself to the point where he is willing to work himself to death for a lack of any idea of what else he could or should be doing, right? And I saw it, and I thought about it immediately. I can relate to that, and maybe not even for me particular, but it made me think of my dad. In all honesty, my dad's a guy who it's hard to say, but he's kind of been a hustler. He's been a pretty successful hustler his whole life, or at least my life, right? Whereas he's always got some idea going on that he's got to work on. He's got to figure out some shit on the side, right? And it's not really it's not to the point where it's even beneficial. It's just something he got to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's trying to provide his family, and he does, right? But that doesn't seem to be like the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the goal is
to continue working.
Yeah, I can't. If I sit here idle,
If I
like one of the
stop,
things he said to me before is like, yeah, if I like, he said he said to me before, when people stop working, that's when they die. And like that was like a whole I was I didn't really think too much of it at the time, but it's just like one of those things like, oh, if you have that worldview, I can definitely like see that. Like I see myself to the degree where it's like my value, I feel like often is tied to the work or my ability to work.
It unfortunately is. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say real quick, like, unfortunately in society, a lot of for a lot of men, black men too, in particular, like you said, a lot of our value is tied to what we can provide, as men, and that's it, right? Like, because we don't have the ability to give birth to children, right? And children are the future. But as men, our value in society in general is only perceived by what we can provide, what we can give to society. But it's all give. And we might have that idea, and people around us, people that we care about, don't see us in that regard. But it's one of those things that it's just like so overarching, and it's almost like a compulsion for us, that we just continue to work and work and work and work and work and work. And to what end? Some people might think of themselves, if they stop working, that they're a failure. Some people might think like you're dead, where if we stop working, we're dead.
Yeah.
Like,
or you only rest when you're dead. Like that's
right. You only rest when you're dead, right? There is a saying, I'll rest when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Right. That's not a great saying.
It's not. But it's also like it's a culture. Like I think it's an American culture.
It's an American culture, 100%.
Specifically,
100%.
When you think about the story of John Henry, do y'all remember seeing the John Henry cartoon?
The book. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Like y'all remember, and then at the time you don't think about it. You're like, I remember looking at it like, yo, he's cool. Look how strong this guy is.
He's a hero.
He beat this machine. And you're like, oh, he died at the end. That's weird. But,
yeah,
like that's how powerful man is, right? Yeah, and as a young guy, you're like, you look up to this. And you don't realize.
With his two hammers, with his two hammers and himself, and his muscles, like, oh man, he's a hero. He's so
got his
strong.
Girl on his shoulder.
He's so strong, and he did it. He did it. Like, you can do anything, and then they just gloss over the fact that this man died. He worked himself to death. For what? Just to prove that he can outwork a machine. There's layers to that. It's like, why on earth? Anyway, getting a little bit away from this, but like, go ahead.
There's layers. You're right. There's layers to that, man. You wonder like why we work so hard now, right? Like we work hard to provide for our families. We work hard to make the best life we can, to live a good, comfortable life, right? But we also know that in this world, like money is not tied to your labor. Like money is like success is not tied to labor. You can work hard as fuck and make nothing.
Little.
Yes, and that's one of the things we don't really think about, right? Like not to make this like a general commentary, but like on social on the labor class and whatnot, but like that this is the way the powers that be like it. They like thinking that they like people thinking that the more we work, the better off we are.
With black
or pointing at other people who are not working as hard and being like, you're less than me. It's our valuation, and it's again it's a distinctly American thing. We had it in our cartoons, in our comic books. Like, it's in the black men in particular. We think about our black heroes. Like, the black Superman literally, like, steel, man. Like, the dude's got the hammer. He's built in the form of John Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how ingrained is that?
I mean, you could even go so far. You could even go so far as to like look at like a lot of our black role models and heroes, past and present. A lot of them were assassinated.
Yeah,
you know, like Martin Luther King, killed, gone in America. I mean, but like, you know, like they were killed for trying to be seen as more than, and to trying to lead other black people to be seen as more than, to rise up and to understand that you are more than the color of your skin. You are more than you're more than the color of your skin. You are the contents of your character, right? You are who you are, and that's where that's where people have the right to judge you. You know, and it's there's this rhetoric where that's tied to us. And it's not just us. It's like all brown people, right? All like it's just where in America you have to work yourself to the bone just to survive, barely. You know, like talking 2-3, like both parents. If you have both parents, work 2-3 jobs. You know, never rest, never get a day off, never spend time with their children. You know, like just to make it, just to survive. And people be, and like, you know, God forbid someone has a heart attack on the job. So God forbid someone collapses on the job. God forbid someone gets sick on the job, right? Like most jobs, unfortunately, with people in the 2-3 job category, they don't offer any insurance, you know, because you're trying to make as much as possible. They literally
limit your hours, so you cannot
you don't get
insurance without making
you're not full time
hourly quota. Yeah, you're not making those hours to qualify.
So it's like there's again layers, right? Because there's so much tied to American culture, and there's so much tied to corporations and the way, especially the private sector, and the government, of course, but the way they run things, as far as giving benefits to people who work so much harder than people at the top, but giving them nothing back really in return. And it just fuels this John Henryism. You know, it just keeps it going as a vicious cycle where people will literally die.
Let me read the
Good.
I was gonna read the origin. I was on my Wikipedia here. It says the term was conceived in the 1970s by African American epidemiologist,
right,
and public health researcher Sherman James, while he was investigating racial health disparities between black people and others in North Carolina. One of the people he interviewed was a black man who, despite being born into an impoverished sharecropper family and having only a second-grade education, could read and write. The man had freed himself and his children from the sharecropper system, had 75 acres, farmed land by age 40, but by his 50s, he had hypertension, arthritis, and severe peptic ulcer disease. His name was John Henry Martin, and the circumstances were evocative of folk hero John Henry.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
This is a guy who literally worked himself to death.
Yeah. He worked vigorously enough to complete a successfully steam-powered machine, but died as a result of his effort. So, evocative. So, this guy effectively, like, you know, worked himself to death. Like, he was successful. Like, for a black man in that time period, this was the 70s, but like for a black man, he had pretty much built he built he had a farm, he had land, and he was working, and he all off of like effectively only a second grade education, just working with his hands.
That's the thing. It's like, I know it's different for everyone, but like, when is enough enough? You know, like, when is enough enough? Like, you can be successful, you can have everything, and it constitutes that you don't really need to work as much as you're used to. But it's like, up here, for most black men, it's like, we got to keep going. But why? You know?
I think it's the pressures of society, right? Like you said, we're already behind the 8 ball being black men, right? Like, in this society, we're kind of seen as the number one threat, right? We're the most threatening. So you have a lot. You feel like, as a man, you have a lot you have to prove. You have to prove that you can provide. You have to prove that you're not a threat. And like you said, Frank, like, once you are no longer able to provide, some people feel like there goes their worth, especially as a man. Like,
a lot of men feel that way.
We don't really have a lot of outlets, and thank God for the Intelligent Idea Talkers podcast, because we don't really have a lot of outlets to express our feelings, right? Like, as men, we're not supposed to really feel as much. We're just supposed to do. We're just supposed to provide. You're just supposed to be there and just, make sure things run as smooth as possible, right? But I mean, racial discrimination is a hell of a stressor, right? And I'm not saying a lot of us feel racial discrimination daily, not outright, but it's there in the American psyche. You always feel like it's there in the background, right?
It is. I feel like it is because all it takes is the opportunity for it to happen, and usually the opportunity comes out in different scenarios, usually involving police, right? But it's always like just right there beneath the surface, and all it takes is like here, the whole idea of, all right, this is about women, but like the whole idea of like women, and like the fact that black women have higher rates of childbirth mortality, fatalities, right? Childbirth related fatalities. There's no real reason for that other than they don't get the same amount of care because of a number of just assumptions that are made about the black women, these pregnant women, right? It's just a fact. Like this, like our world, the world we live in, has a set of underlying assumptions about us that constantly work to our detriment, and like, so the whole idea of like black men being perceived as, just like you said, more dangerous. Like, we've seen countless examples of like just young black men just being like confronted, attacked, like just targeted for being young and black, right? We're just being a black males. Like, we're a threat automatically because we're perceived by this race culture of being just already having these assumptions stuck to us,
even by black people. And that doesn't have to be just by white cops or white people.
Didn't say that. Yeah, true.
Yeah. I mean, you jump to those conclusions. I mean, by Asians, I remember when I was younger and I had my cornrows, and I got pulled over. And I guess I was going a little fast, and cop pulled me over. Black dude too. Hey man, you didn't see me, kind of getting an attitude and everything. And he went back, was scanned my
slow
ID.
Down if I seen you.
Didn't have a record, didn't have any tickets, anything. Just let me go. But it's like, even by black people, we're kind of, you kind of feel profiled a little bit. That's just the way this thing has kind of been ingrained into all of us. I mean, even me, like, if I'm walking out at night, I work at night, and I mean, if I see a group of black people, I'm blocking the door. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I mean? That's just kind of a joke. It's kind of a joke, but it's kind of serious, right? If
you see people walking at night, you should probably lock the door.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Like if there were a bunch of white people, you wouldn't be like,
It's like
probably fine.
The stereotypes
Come on in.
The point is, and I'm joking. The point is, but the stereotypes are kind of ingrained even in us, against us.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
That's how propaganda works, man. That's kind of like makes us our biggest enemy at times.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny that I'm talking about this while wearing a Captain America shirt. I love America. I am American, right? This country has made me who I am. I'm proud of who I am. But I tell a lot of Africans that I work with this, man, it's hard being a Black American sometimes because you want to be proud of your country. You want to be proud, right? Like I am who I am because of where I am. But this country ain't never been proud of me, like they've never, they've never shown me, you feel like you're accepting as a human being, right? And you feel like this country has never really accepted you kind of as the human being that you are. Especially the Black man. We get the brunt of all of the negative stereotypes, the racism, the targeting. I mean, everything, we get the brunt of it because we are the men and we're Black. And there's a lot of times there's no coping mechanism for it. You just kind of have to internalize everything. And that's where a lot of the depression comes from and the stress and just, you don't really have any way to cope with it except for just deal with it. You're a man, deal with it, man up, be tough. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm glad we have platforms like this and others that we can go listen to, that we can come express some feelings and emotions on certain subjects. And I mean, we constantly feel like we got to prove something. You constantly feel like you have to prove your worth, even though we know worth is not measured. I mean, like you said, it's not measured in money. Like, I know guys that can make, a ton of money and be a horrible father or a horrible husband.
Yeah, true. Elon Musk. Yeah. Right. He got all the money in the world. He's a fucking Nazi.
It's not completely measured in money, in monetary value, but it kind of is. It kind of is, right? Like as a man, you feel like I have to provide for my family. If I'm not providing that monetary value, I'm failing. But you kind of feel that way, and it's sad. It's sad sometimes because we know that doesn't lead to complete happiness, but we chase it anyway. Maybe that's a symptom or a byproduct of capitalism. We feel like we have to constantly chase. Our value is tied to what we can give you. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks sometimes, but I mean, what are we supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
I think so that was actually what I was going to come up with next. I was looking at so just kind of like when we in the video by the she's PhD, Dr. Raquel Martin.
Yeah.
She talks about how how we address something like this as Black men who may be aware enough to realize these kind of symptoms in ourselves, and not necessarily the physiological stuff that happens as a result of like this. What is this? It's John Henryism. What's it like? It's not. I don't know what you call it. But anyway, of this like mindset, right? And like I think one of the main things she mentions is like, one of the first things is like acknowledging it and finding and acknowledging your own worth, right? Your own self-worth. And I find that that's one of those things where, not that it's simple, because it is not simple acknowledging your own self-worth, but I find that acknowledging your own self-worth is a good baseline remedy for a lot of like things such as depression or not that I'm like giving advice because I'm not a doctor, but like if you can acknowledge your own self-worth, then you can think better of yourself, right? And it gives you a good baseline to start from for changing your behavior, right? A lot of people do try to escape themselves.
I was going to say, unfortunately, for a lot of people, for a lot of black men. That is something. Acknowledging their self-worth is something that is never going to happen. It's a very unfortunate fact for a lot of black men, and the reason why is because of byproduct of society of our societal culture, where we are not, we are not looked up to. We are looked down on. We are looked at as less than. And you can be the most charismatic, positive person in the world, and that will still weigh down. That will still weigh down on even the most charismatic individual.
True.
For a lot of people, they go their whole lives, instead of seeking validation within themselves, from themselves, they seek validation from others.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the validation from that they're looking for from others comes from the wrong sect of people. And that is the people who, white people who control more authority figures,
People
bosses,
who want something
police
from you.
officers, people who want things from you at a lower level. But like, they feel like that validation is better than looking inward. Because a lot of people are also afraid of what they might find when they actually look inward. And so they avoid it. They don't want to do it. They're because they would also have to look at, in order to realize their self-worth, they have to look at their flaws too.
Yes.
And a lot of people are not willing to do that.
That's the biggest part of it.
And a lot of people, their egos will 100% prevent them from doing that. So, yes, that is solid advice. It's just, you're right. It's not simple. For a lot of people, it's nearly impossible because they refuse through however they were brought up, whatever childhood they had, whatever upbringing, whatever life experiences that they have, circumstances, whatever have you. Looking inward is something that people cannot bring themselves to do. And it's something, I'm not saying present company. I'm not saying like,
No. Like we have prime examples of the most powerful people in this country. People who refuse to look inward.
Right. Like nothing is ever their fault. Nothing, so it's just,
they can't. Yeah.
There are levels to a person actually wanting to look inward. And the most important aspect of that too is that in order for a person to look inward, they have to want to look inward. They have to want to change. They have to want to be able to accept themselves fully.
That acknowledgement is the first step.
Right. But at the same time, they have to accept themselves fully, which means flaws and all, right? Wounds and all, everything. Mm-hmm. But let's say in the case of a person who actually does want to do that and is willing to go through that journey,
mm-hmm.
they come out better for it.
Yeah,
it's gonna hurt like hell, but it's gonna come. They're gonna come out better for it, and they're gonna come out with a different perspective and outlook. And hopefully, circumstantially, they can use their current circumstances to elevate themselves, on top of having a new outlook on themselves and on life. But a lot of people, man, people love to, again, external validation is huge, and people love being comfortable, right?
Yeah.
They love living in blindness.
Human beings are very social creatures, so outward validation is not all bad. We want to be accepted by the group.
Everyone wants to be accepted. Everyone wants attention.
Yeah,
obviously, inner validation is. I mean, if you're not happy within yourself, it doesn't matter what anybody tells you. I mean, you have to look at like you said, you have to look at your flaws and what did I do wrong. I never trust anybody who never reflects and thinks, what did I do wrong in a situation? Like if you're talking about something and nothing is ever your fault, it's always something else that happened that caused this. You got to look internally sometimes. So, I wouldn't say I would never trust anyone, but
it's hard to do. Like, so it's hard to judge somebody who doesn't, right? Because like for me personally, like I speak of past tense, I still am, but I'm a pretty cocky dude. right? So there's times where like I've had to have like, I've had to take the fucking
You have to take the L.
disappointments and take the L's. And I remember like at one severe point, I had to take a hard L, and I had a choice. And I remember thinking distinctly, like I remember being presented with the choice of blaming somebody else or blaming myself. And it was for me personally, it was a surreal moment. And instinctually, I was gonna blame somebody else, but when you get to a point, when you do this enough times, at some point you think you do have to look at yourself, and then that's kind of like then it's one step at a time, right? It doesn't all happen at once. So it's practice to like, it's practice to be honest with yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just one of the things, and as when we're younger, or like when you're not presented with certain choices, some people don't feel like they have to go that route, right? So again, it takes that first step of like acknowledgement that like maybe this is something that I have to like own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certain level of humility that has to be involved in all of this.
Yeah, exactly. And humility is a hard thing, man. It's a hard thing, man. Like we're trained against it. Like in this society, like in this world, we are taught not to apologize. We're taught to push back, like especially as men. Like,
and even all these issues that we're talking about, it like with the pressure of society, the societal pressure that's on the shoulders. A lot of these are exacerbated because of like I said, the societal pressure is exacerbated for the black man, right? Like we have to doubly try to prove our self-worth to ourselves. Yeah. I mean, when we do want validation from the group, we have to work extra hard to get that validation from the group. You want to, that promotion at work, you feel like you have to work extra hard to get that promote. You have to prove that you're not threatening to the power structure, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That
they'll target us, because if we are threatening, they target us if we do too good.
Right. If you're too threatening, you can't do too good. You can't be too ghetto. You can't be too, you got to be. It's a fine line,
Mm-hmm.
But and one thing I say with that, when you see some ghetto black folk, they ghetto, man. Like even me, man. I'm black, but I'm like, dude, stop acting so goddamn ghetto, man. All right, damn. Like have a certain level of, like just the aura about yourself, man. Like you acting ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We have to do better as a people sometimes too, and I know that's hard because of the John Henryism and the societal pressures that go along with everything that we're talking about in this conversation. But sometimes we have to do better as a people as well, man.
Hey, them first.
Yeah, oh yeah, hell yeah, them first.
Yeah, y'all first and shit.
Y'all set the parameters.
Y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
y'all want me to act better, y'all be better.
You know what I'm saying? Like, make me act out because y'all fucking acting crazy and shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, man, I get it, man. It's tough, man. It's tough, and you're not, even with your family sometimes, right? Like you're not really supposed to show emotion. You can be emotional with your wife or your girlfriend, your significant other, but you kind of feel like you have to internalize a lot of that stuff, right? Like I can't be too overly emotional, right? As a man, you can't be overly emotional. So where's the line? Where's the line between no emotion and emotional? Like.
So
can I ask you guys a personal question? As men, have you ever cried in front of your wives? Like, I mean, tears streaming.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever cried in front of my current.
I don't think it's not that I wouldn't. I just haven't.
Yeah, right.
Nothing has. Yeah. That's it for me.
Yeah,
I just haven't had none hit me like that. I don't think it's that I wouldn't, like, or I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But like, sometimes it's just like.
And I think also kind of speaking on that, to add to that, I think it's about men showing vulnerability, but there's also something that comes with that, right? Like if you have the right partner, I feel like it's okay and easy for men to be vulnerable. But there are a lot of men out there that don't have the right partner, and those men feel like they can't be vulnerable with their partner because the partner will use that against them, or they will they won't respect them, or they'll turn on them in some way, shape, or form. And that dynamic has to do a lot more with the relationship between the two people, but it's still a matter of, yes, there is, to a point, there is like, we've been societally programmed to not show any emotion, and the only emotion we're allowed to show is anger, right? Because that's what's acceptable in society. But we're not allowed to show any other emotions because those emotions are seen as feminine. No crying or complaining or saying how we feel. Like, if we're feeling pain somewhere, we can't talk about it or things like that. Something that's seen as,
or being too happy. Like,
right. Like, again, society saying, man,
that's fucked up. I can't show that I'm too happy. That's fucked up, bro. Damn.
Well, I mean, this is the world we live in.
You're right though. Yeah.
This is the culture we live in America, right? Like, so it I guess to like a fully holistic answer to your question, I have not cried in front of my partner, in front of my wife, but I feel like I could if there was something to cry about.
Yeah.
But I think part of that also is having to do with, like, well, damn, we're the providers, right? We're the we got to be tough. We gotta push that shit down.
Now I feel like I was at Juice's wedding. I feel like Juice dropped a tear there towards the end, man. I feel like I saw you drop a tear there, Juice. I don't know.
Well, I mean, and so what's wrong with that, though?
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
It was cool.
I'm positive. A little soft. Positive, you're sure.
Hey, look, it was a little
correct.
Hey, look, it was a little soft, but it's cool. A
little soft.
Again, gentlemen, like that, but that's okay. That's one of the places to do it, like, so, but like, I think that has a lot to do with the relationship, with having the partner that gives you the space and allows you to be vulnerable, because you're a human being, right? You have all of the range of emotions. You're born with all of the range of emotions. So why not? You should also be allowed to express all of them as a man. But, society says, nah, you can't do that. He's like, well, that pisses me off. It's like, whoa, that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
You can be angry. That's like,
put that hand on that gun. Yeah, you can be pissed. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anger is like the only acceptable emotion they would like you to think, but.
Yeah.
That's how all of our heroes portray. Like, it's wild, man, because, like, again, like, it's propaganda, right? Like, not even propaganda, but it is. It's just like the way that people are. When you see a man in a movie, right, and he's going through something, like, he's always got to punch something. Mm-hmm. He's always got to, like, break something to show that
he's out in an unhealthy way.
Yeah, and it's just like, and then we see that growing up or whatever, and we expect, that's the way it should be. And then the other part of it is that, like, as times change, I feel like ideas shift, and people start realizing that, hey, there's better ways to release this anxiety. Mm-hmm. There's better ways to release this anger or these upset feelings or whatever. And then you got this other fucking side that comes in and is like, nah, son, that's fill in the blank.
That's soft.
Yeah, soft.
Gay. That's gay.
That's gay. Yeah, that's. They come out and they start like, they start pointing fingers and calling names and shit. And it's like, it's
even
wild.
we do it to ourselves. It's ingrained in us too. I mean, like Frank said, you gotta have the right partner.
Yeah, it's true.
Women do it. I've seen a guy, not seem as tough in front of women, and the women call him soft and he's a bitch and all this. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's tough, man. I was telling my guy, man, like it's hard being in America because you want to be proud, but this country puts a lot of pressure on you as a black man, and that's my experience. That's what I can speak to, and just as a man in general, like not only as a black man, but even a man in general, buckle down, don't show any emotion, provide, and shut the fuck up, But it's tough.
That's pretty much it.
And the one
pretty
person,
much it.
like you guys said, the one person you can be vulnerable with, and I think I can too. Even to me, sometimes though, it feels like I can be vulnerable, but should I be? Because I should have the face of toughness and the face of masculinity. I should be the.
It feels like you're always doing a calculation of when you can be.
But at the same time, you should always feel like you should be able to.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to come out. It doesn't have to come out as like full blown ugly crying.
Yeah.
It could just be being able to vent.
Yeah, just venting
about your day. Like, yo, you don't want to be here the bullshit that happened to me today at work.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'll be venting.
and Claudine listens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yo, that's crazy or some shit, right? But it's less like
so that's crazy.
But it's like that's something that like, I would hope that like your partner should not throw back in your face. And that's what a lot of men go through, outside of present company, right? Like that's what a lot of men go through. They feel like that they can't express themselves in any way really, except to be angry or to just shut the fuck up, right? And it's like a lot of men go through that because they feel like their partners will unreliably use that information against them.
Which that's fucked up. I mean, if I'm vulnerable with you to the point where I'm expressing my emotions and you throw that shit back in my face,
hey,
that is, and I've heard that before.
It happens. It happens to women too. I'm not gonna say it's just men. Women. There are a whole bunch of women out there that are super afraid to express themselves freely to their partners because their partners will get mad. The male partners will get mad. Abuse is possible. Like there's a lot. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides. So in this case, in this context, like speaking of like John Henryism, right? Like there's a lot that has to do with what we were just talking about. But it's just like you should be able to feel like you can be vulnerable with your partner, in whatever way. Having those tough conversations. You should be able to express yourself in that way, right? Like, look, I like there was something that happened the other day. I took time to think about it, but I really didn't like the way that went down. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you should be able to have those conversations. So it's like you can express joy at an accomplishment, right? It's just like there are just like so many people out there that can't even do that. Like that range of expression can't do it.
Which you got to be a special type of dude if you don't let your woman express herself emotionally to you without throwing the shit back in her face in some way, shape, or form.
It happens, man.
You got to be
a lot of toxic people, man.
You got to be one of those Tyler Perry dudes that be in the movies, like them straight asshole dudes that just don't give a,
They're based off of real people, man.
Yeah, you ever seen Diary of a Bad Black Woman? You seen that?
Yeah.
Yo, no, that dude was the worst. That lawyer guy. I'm like, is that motherfucker real? Is he real?
Yes, dude.
Yeah,
people out there like that,
people,
son.
Man.
That motherfucker was dragging her down the hallway to throw her out.
Some of them.
Damn.
You might know a couple of them.
Nah, I can't. Nah, there's no way. I'd be shocked.
Shocked and appalled.
Yeah, this nigga dragged this girl down the hallway and kicked her out. What?
But
yeah, man.
Let me just read this real quick. So James, what's his name? Sherman James, the guy who developed the the term, developed a 12-item scale called the John Henryism scale for active coping, or JHA. The three themes that were deemed important in measuring John Henryism were: 1, efficacious mental and physical vigor, a strong commitment to hard work, and a single-minded determination to succeed. The scale developed for measuring John Henryism was based on the agreement with a series of statements such as these. So you have to agree with these types of statements. When things don't go the way I want them to, that just makes me work even harder. And I've always felt I can make of my life pretty much what I wanted to make of it. So, just some more trivia. The scale was used to measure the extent to which men believe they can control their environment through hard work and determination. Oh, pretty interesting.
Man.
You know, it kind of,
in a way, it's kind of positive though.
It's kind of
definitely kind
line.
of positive.
It's not. Yeah, I don't think it's something that should be. What's the word? For lack of a better word, praised because of the long-term effect of it. But
yeah,
there are positive qualities.
Yeah.
You know, sure.
Hard work, determination, having the vigor to pursue goals.
But
that's all animes ever told me I need to do.
But this is to an extreme.
That's the propaganda.
But this is to an extreme where you literally end your life by living those tenets till your heart can't take anymore. You know. So yeah, they're great qualities though. But the way it should be, I feel like it should be to a point where you can be happy with the results of what you have been able to accomplish through hard work and determination and will to succeed.
Yeah.
You know, and then once you are successful at that thing or the things, then you can kind of like relax and be like, and just like, okay, I did this. This is great.
The ability to reap the benefits of what you've done is very important to this.
Yeah.
But we have to understand also that, as always, this is a political, systemic rooted issue. Like to work, again, I said it earlier, but work is not tied to success. It's just not like it's not inextricably tied to success. This is not a merit-based world we live in. We like to think it is, and it would be nice if it was. And to a degree, you can get to a certain point through your hard work, but the people with the most are not the people who work the hardest. And the people with the least often are people who have worked very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
These are political, these are systemic, systemic issues that need to be, addressed by people.
Yeah. I think therapy would serve a lot of, and I guess we're going to specifically talk about John Henryism with black men, but I think it would serve a lot of black men so. Man.
What you talking about? What you talking about? Black people don't do therapy.
Yeah. we should be able to express emotions, especially the men.
Of course, men. Of course, black people do therapy. It's just that it's stigmatized.
It is. Like it's like you're weak. You can't do it for yourself. You can't handle it yourself.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Everybody needs therapy. I think everybody needs therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. We'll talk.
Hey, welcome to the Intelligent Idea Talkers podcast, man.
Yeah, we need therapy too.
Yeah, we need therapy too. That's a tagline on this.
That's a tag and shit.
We need therapy too.
We need therapy too.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah. Any other closing statements on this thing, man?
John Henryism hits hard for me. So it's just something that I thought was very interesting. And
definitely very interesting and always relevant. Always relevant. I mean, this is an issue that we could have talked about 20 years ago, 30 years ago. We can talk about 30 years from now, you know, that need to prove your worth to everyone and to work harder than the next to, you know, to prove that you do belong. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So speaking of therapy, squabble up.
Stand up, sit down.
Hey, speaking of being humble, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Super Bowl happened. What was it? Super Bowl 596?
55.
Oh, 55. Yeah.
Yeah,
55.
it's always
That's
hard for me to follow the Roman numerals. I don't know why they do the numerals thing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Super Bowl is this? Yeah, but it's 55. I think
Super Bowl 55.
Wait, yes. It's either 55 or like 59. One of the two. Yeah, one of them.
Super Bowl 500.
So, Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. But so Kendrick Lamar did the halftime show at the most recent Super Bowl, and it was one that had so much attention and so much energy to it and so much like drama surrounding it, probably more so than any Super Bowl that's been up to this point. I heard that this was the first time a Super Bowl was performed by a rapper effectively solo. I have some footage, but yeah.
To me, the Super Bowl halftime show, there's a lot of pageantry involved with the Super Bowl. I mean, you're putting on a show. So to me, the Super Bowl never really matched hip hop so much because of the pageantry. You know what I mean? Like even with Kendrick's performance, now it was dope, but you know, there's a lot of dancers and twirling, and you know, you're putting on a show. You know, so a lot of times the lyrics that are in hip hop songs maybe are a little bit too fast to appreciate. I think that's probably why, in my opinion, R&B goes a little bit better with the Super Bowl show, or like rock or something that you can, you know, whereas hip hop is very lyric based. So you have to hear the words that they're saying, and, you know, but I thought overall it was a good show. Thought it was a good showing.
Yeah, I thought it was a good show too. Like I rewatched it this earlier before, and I gotta say, like I thought it was entertaining. Like, so I don't know, maybe the lyrics are one thing. Like I can understand that if you don't know the songs per se, but like if Kiss went out there, or I don't know, you name a rock band, right. I'm 100% sure I'm not gonna know what they talking about.
They Kiss
or what they saying. They saying like, or I don't know, like Limp Bizkit, or I don't know who does rock. Creed. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know.
Yes,
you went way back with that one, though.
I don't know, man.
Creed, Slipknot,
Pearl Jam. I don't know, man.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Creed.
Chili Peppers did a Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay,
a few years back. Well, a few
years back. Slipknot. Yeah.
Yeah. Pantera, Megadeth.
Wasn't so Kiss? They were the guys with the black and white face paint with the the tongues and shit. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Kiss.
Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Yes. I wish I have better footage.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get my notes together.
Yeah, but so this Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar, he started off with the Squabble Up song, and so there was a lot of layers to this, and I don't know if you know, as we all saw during the show, Uncle Sam was represented, you know, by Samuel L. Jackson, who, if I recall correctly, was one of the, he was presented as Uncle Sam, who's supposed to be a representation of the United States during, I guess, during war, or just kind of the United States in general. I know he's presented as being something to strive for, somebody who like would embody the United States, and the irony of putting a black man in that position, saying, "Hey, it's your uncle Sam," being a black man, and in particular a black man with Samuel L. Jackson's history. So I don't know if you all know, but back in the 70s, he was an activist, very closely tied with the Black Panthers, and he at one point he was part of a group who held what do you say, kidnapped, essentially. He kidnapped a board of Morehouse, or a group of Morehouse professors, one of which was a professors or Morehouse officials. I won't say professors though, and one of whom was Martin Luther King's father, and they held him in this facility and they made demands for the university, for the students of the university. And I think this is during like civil rights. But anyway, I don't know the details on it. I'm pulling off the top of my head. I should have looked this up earlier. But
I was gonna say the whole thing with Sam Jackson as Uncle Sam is really interesting, is because, you know, like the whole idea of like Uncle Sam, the American white Uncle Sam, was to make American patriotism be seen as a religion, and it's to like valorize nationalism.
Right, yeah.
Tradition. So having like a black person be Uncle Sam was kind of like a double entendre within a double entendre, right? Like, because Sam Jackson is seen as like an uncle type figure in black culture, and to have him be represented on this level at this stage with in a very American tradition such as football, right?
Yeah,
for the biggest football game there is, and
one of the biggest stages,
and you know, viewed by yeah, exactly, one of the biggest stages, viewed by all the white people around the world. You know, seeing this figure tainted in this way by them, or seen as that by them, is really like, it's really interesting. And the fact that he was commenting on like all of the things that after every number that Kendrick did, that he was like, he was providing his commentary on like, hey, like, you need to slow down, or, you know, too reckless, too ghetto. He's like, do you know how to play the game? He's like, do you really know, Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? You know, the old culture cheat code, scorekeeper, deduct one life, which I'll get to into a bit, because this whole show that Kendrick Lamar put on was basically like a game, dude, like a video game, right? It's why he started out with the PlayStation symbols, right? It's why you had like levels to it, like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. There was a lot going on that like we picked up on the surface, but then there was just like layers way underneath that, you know. But getting back to Uncle Sam real quick, there's also an interesting thing, is that so y'all know Trump was at the game, right? Like,
yeah,
he was watching from his presidential box seats, and I didn't know this, but looking into it, Sam Jackson and Trump hate each other, and it's because actually I think they used to be cool with each other when Trump was not the president, when he was like when he was trying to get into the celebrity.
Trump was cool with a lot of hip hop artists and celebrities and whatnot,
and black celebrities, because Trump has always been trying to get into
Show
celebrity
business.
into celebrity. Yeah, not just into show business, but to kind of get like that celebrity status that comes with knowing other celebrities. And something happened during Trump's first campaign that apparently Sam Jackson and Trump played golf together, and and Trump was apparently known to cheat at golf, just like he cheats at everything else. Yeah. And Sam Jackson actually admitted like publicly that like, yo, Trump cheats at golf. Now Trump did not like that whatsoever, and since he was kind of on his high horse running his first campaign to be president, he basically like iced out Sam, pretended like he never met him, never knew him, doesn't know where these words are coming from. And
how you pretend like you never met Samuel L. Jackson? I'm like, he's one of the most well-known celebrities.
Because Sam Jackson said something that hurt his ego.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of Trump's moves. He'll say says all the time. It's like, I never heard of this person. That I don't know anything.
Who is that?
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
He'll completely deny any knowledge of it. Like look at anytime he mentions Epstein.
Like he will do that. And at the same time, like
never met
that. Him. Yeah, that like who is that? I don't know this person. Right? And,
never read it.
And the levels to have. I don't like some of the stuff that happens like just like this. Like I don't know if it's a matter of like convenience or genius, and it's probably both, or genius, or just straight genius. Because to get Sam Jackson to portray Uncle Sam, which is a layer upon a layer within itself. But the very fact that Trump was at the game, knowing that this
first president at a Super Bowl game, right?
Right.
First time a president at the Super Bowl game.
Right.
Having his antithesis.
Right.
Which is shocking.
Being to open the show with the antithesis of a symbol of America, of the American people, in this way, it's like fucking like like yo, like the genius, like where, like how did you come up with this? You know?
Yeah. 100%.
Like, just from a story you heard 5 years ago, or 6 years? No, not even 5 years ago. Maybe like almost 10 years ago.
I mean, we saw we know how meticulous Kendrick is.
Oh my God,
saw what he did with Drake. Okay, like talk about meticulously pulling information,
just holy
and
shit,
applying
dude.
it.
Holy shit,
applying it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And then, I don't know if you guys want to, add whatever, go ahead. I have more, but I just thought that was just like fucking levels of genius that it's just beyond me. I
had some. I was hoping I had some more screenshots. I actually pulled videos instead of screenshots. But like at one point, I noticed that like when he started the song, "Squabble Up" was his first song, and that's just that's a fight song. Like squabble up, you gonna squabble up. That means you about to fight, and that's how he starts, right? You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
The wrong guy.
Like that's a shot across the bow. Like,
dude, you know this.
He's taking shots across the bow. Like, exactly who he's talking to.
You know exactly who he's talking to. Who he's talking about. Like,
so Kendrick, like this. We're all watching this show, anticipating the coup de grace, of course, right?
Yeah,
the coup de grace,
right? But I mean, like the lead up. There was he took his opportunity around, man. Like there was. It's also funny to me. It's also funny to me how many, before getting back to like the actual show, but it's so funny to me about how many people who said that the show was whack, that they didn't understand, that like they never heard of Kendrick, that I'm just like these are all white people. Like,
also, if you never heard of Kendrick, he just won.
Did you see the video? Did I send you out a video of the Fox News anchor
that was talking shit?
That was talking shit, saying he he never met Kendrick, this low selling that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Like no one's ever bought your albums. No one knows any of your songs. And I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
I'm like, love him or hate him. This dude is on. He's on everybody's radar, especially after the fucking show. What's wrong?
He just won Grammys like the same week. He just won.
He won 5 Grammys.
5 Grammys though, crazy.
He won a total of 7 Grammys. He won 5 Grammys for one song.
Dude, his songs are top 10. Like they're all like
everywhere.
Like 3 songs are in the top 10 right now.
The thing with music, and we all know this, is like that's one thing it's like politics, man. You'll never get people to just agree on music. Everybody thinks their playlist is the best playlist in the world, And like, I don't blame a guy for like I said, if they had to put Kiss or Red Hot Chili Peppers or something, I wouldn't have known any of that. I couldn't point out Gene Simmons. Okay, maybe I could point out Gene Simmons if I have the right picture in my head. But I mean, I don't blame him for that so much, because Kendrick is one of the hottest artists in the country, in the world right now. But if you don't know who this guy is, you don't know.
I know
what to do.
I know what to do.
But he was speaking in more generalities.
Mm-hmm, like
he wasn't saying like he himself has never heard of this. He was saying like everyone,
nobody.
He was using generalities. He was using extreme words. Nobody, everyone, anybody, anyone. He was using those types of words to describe the vast majority of people.
And in general, you could see a lot of mainstream white America, or a lot of white America being mad because there were a lot of black faces up there, and they don't like that.
All black faces.
It was all black.
And the thing with the NFL, because this is the Super Bowl halftime. The thing with the NFL, I think the NFL is 80% black or of mixed heritage. So there are a lot of black faces in the NFL, but. See, people don't seem to mind that, right? Like, they watch millions of people tune in. You know why? Because they got them helmets on. You don't really see the black faces behind the helmet until they zoom in. You know what I mean? So it's like there's this mask of the helmet there. But I mean, there's a lot of black faces on that stage with Kendrick, man.
They like the idea of having black bodies do their entertainment, but they actually don't want to hear from these black peoples.
Well, that was part of the message from the very beginning, right? Like, again, almost culminating with the song "Not Like Us," right? Like that black people have the message was like black people have always been here to entertain they or them, so they aren't bored, right?
Yeah,
and like the fact that it starts off with like this was such a pro-black thing in general, like that, like it went over a lot of people's heads, even some black people, but it went over a lot of people's heads, the black people being made up of the American flag, or the American flag being made up of black people. I'll just say it that way. American flag being made up of black people, like
here. This is the image I wanted.
About black people, about how black culture has always been appropriated by white people, and the whole no matter how much they try to steal our culture, they try to steal elements that make us who we are, right? They're not like us. They can never be like us. They can never have what we have and what we can create,
So I heard before that.
Go ahead.
I heard before that America's #1 export is black culture.
Right.
Yeah,
oh yeah, shit.
I can't remember who said that. Probably a comedian, but
was it Paul Mooney?
Maybe.
It sounds like something he would have said.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like something he would have said.
I'm like, yeah, I believe it. Like, who loves, when people think of America, there's a few things that come to mind, right? And I mean, our music is some of the most influential in the world, man.
Mm-hmm. it's like when you mentioned he started with Squabble Up, right? And it's
Up.
like Squabble Up is like, but look at what the dancers were doing when he was performing the song, right? Like it was them on puppet strings, right? Like it was them looking like marionettes, you know, like making us dance for them,
like down here,
versus paying attention to what we're bringing to American culture, what we're bringing to the table, you know. And it's like that's like really profound, you know, in the performance. And it's like, holy shit. Again, like shit was just like beyond me, like this meticulous level of genius that is happening. And there's like, I feel like so many people that didn't get it, I'm just like, God damn it. Like y'all have no idea what you're witnessing. You're being a part of something there. You're witnessing something great.
Yeah. You're witnessing, you know? Yeah.
You're witnessing greatness within Black culture. And it's like, cause this is all Black, pro-Black all the way.
Black on black on black, dude. And I love
black,
that
y'all.
part of it.
I'm black, y'all.
I'm blackity black.
Black and I'm black, y'all.
Nigga shit. It's like it's black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black. You know what I'm saying? Like that's exactly, and that's. Hey, I'm sure that's all they heard. But you know, hey, if that's all they heard, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Who cares?
That being said, I do not think the NFL will do this again next year. I think they're going to have one of the whitest of white bands out there.
And guess who's not going to give a... Watch that, get the lowest ratings.
You notice how this was one of the highest rated Super Bowl halftime shows in recent history, right? Nobody gives a shit about the Super Bowl halftime. We cared because Kendrick was on there, you know?
Yes.
And I mean, he actually put on a show that got people talking. I mean, most of the time the Super Bowl halftime show is just something you kind of breeze past. Like, okay, let them do their songs, go get something to eat, use the bathroom. I mean, this thing, people actually sat down to watch. I haven't watched the Super Bowl halftime show in years, you know? I couldn't tell you who was on that last
I watched last year, who was Usher.
Usher, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was all right. That was actually pretty cool.
Like I said,
it wasn't this because it didn't have the weight, right? It didn't have didn't have the energy of the moment of the time we're in right now.
And we know what kind of artist Kendrick Lamar is. On top of that, you know.
I mean, wasn't it like the year before where they had like Dr. Dre, Snoop?
Yeah,
That show was great, but like it did not have this kind of weight to it. It just didn't. Like it was just, this was something special. Like, you know, also like again with the PlayStation symbols, that was also a nod to Squid Games, right? And about symbolizing the rich killing the poor for entertainment. And it's like, you think about it, like look at like rap beefs in the 90s, you know, people killing each other and dying, and then the media profiting off of their deaths.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like crazy. And Diddy. And Diddy. God damn it.
Yeah, that being said, I think this sent too many shockwaves through the NFL world. I don't think I think next year they're gonna balance the scale. They're gonna have the whitest of white bands. You know, it's gonna be Blink 182 or something, you know.
They can have
that's fine. This already happened.
Yeah, this happened.
This already
that's cool,
happened.
You know what I'm saying? Like
we're way past it. Like I'm not way past it, but like we are. This is already.
This is in the annals of history.
Yes, the
annals of history.
Yeah, this is an event that has happened.
We all knew, but everybody was waiting to hear "Not Like Us." And apparently, I guess Drake has filed a defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group.
Oh, that was a while back.
Yeah, well, because they said that. I think it's the same one. It might be the same one Frank's talking about. He knew the accusations in the song were false, but they were distributed and promoted. Remember, I think we were talking about this. It was like, Drake, man up. It's a rap.
We talked about this shit.
Yeah, it's a rap.
So remember, like the song selection he did from Squabble Up to Be Humble, right? And I'm picturing this whole thing like he's talking to Trump. Like this is how I'm measuring it. He's like, "We're gonna fight. You better chill." Talking about be humble, bitch, sit down. Shut up, bitch, sit down. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, then he does DNA, which real talk, I didn't expect that song to be played like on the stage. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA.
Talk about black people, man.
That's black. That's blackity black, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think, man, I gotta talk about my blood, my DNA. I got royalty in my DNA.
There was
and he's saying that shit on the national
stage,
on the largest stage.
Yep.
This year, like
this is like all fight songs.
Yeah,
you know, in their own way, right? Like he's talking, and when he sung DNA, he's talking to us. You know, he's talking to us, saying like, "Yo, like y'all are more powerful than you think."
Yeah,
you know, and
it was dope. I think a lot of these lyrics went over people's heads, though. I think because of the pageantry of the Super Bowl halftime show, just the nature of it, there's a show going on, you know. So like, I think people are more like, oh look, that's Serena. Oh look, that's Samuel L. Jackson. You know, I think people are more focused on the background.
The same people who think never mind.
I mean, it was supposed to be.
We know because we've listened to Kendrick and we know his lyrics and we know his songs. But
yes, the Super Bowl show historically is supposed to be a show, an event about entertainment. Sure, I feel like he accomplished that, but he also took the opportunity to craft a very thinly veiled message.
It's politics again, man.
Politics.
It's politics again in the entertainment. Like you have you have the people who get it, and for the people who understand it, that message was for you. If you didn't, then the message wasn't for you. Was it? Yeah, it just wasn't for you if you didn't get it.
That's a big part of it too. If you got
people are like, "Oh wow, that was Samuel L. Jackson. That's so cool."
Yeah, oh, that's Serena Williams. That's Serena Williams. Oh,
Serena Williams.
I think that's where a lot of people stopped. I think that's where a lot of people stopped. That's where the everything stopped. Oh, that's Serena. Stop. You know what I mean? There was no digging into his, why he rapped this lyric like this or something like that. You know,
those who we call the uninitiated.
Yeah,
those are who we call the uninitiated. And they don't understand. It's not for them to understand.
Politics, true, but most people went back to the entertainment factor. They had disassociated from the politics. Said, well, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Like, okay, yeah, Kendrick show was nice and all. Who's going to win the game? You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, you know,
I thought it was pretty clear by this point.
Oh, who's going to win? Yeah. No, that game was unentertaining. I mean, it's rare that I would ever say this, but the Super Bowl halftime show was probably more entertaining than an actual game. I mean, the score was so lopsided, like you didn't care about the end. You're like, okay, whatever. It's on TV next. But yeah, I think the NFL will do a big switch up next year. They're going to have the wiggity white bands up there. You know what I mean? So what if they have a Super Bowl show next year, and it's all white people, and all the white people are in the American flag? You know what I mean? Like
I'll tell you that if I don't care about the band, I ain't gonna watch it.
Look,
I'm not gonna watch it. We're gonna mute the halftime show. I'll mute it.
This is gonna be a tough act to follow, and honestly, I think a lot of people. I mean, Kendrick was just on fire that week, right? Like talking about winning 7 Grammys and then performing at the Super Bowl halftime show and setting a record at that. Like, and you know. Everybody was watching because everybody was trying to see what he was going to do, particularly for Not Like Us. People were like, is he going to do it? You know, like, is he going to perform the song? Like, and Kendrick chose violence. I do remember.
Like, he'll say they were like the Sioux.
when you heard the violins, like dun, 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 and he's.
Bro, you knew he was going to do this. So that was one of the hottest songs of 2024. I mean, white people loved it. That's why he made it to the Super Bowl.
It was the hottest song of 2024.
If it was not for Not Like Us, if it was not for that song, he never gets the Super Bowl halftime show. If it was not for the popularity and the explosion of that song, I don't think Kendrick ever performs this halftime show that he just did.
Probably not, but his catalog was already pretty strong. Maybe they would have had him do it with someone else. or have him featured somehow. But like,
yeah,
that's how music works.
But like,
you have a good song and you make it to the Super Bowl.
Kendrick chose violence.
It's
Here.
crazy. It's crazy that he came up.
He chose violence.
They're like,
it's crazy that he came up with a diss song that turned into the hottest song of his career. And it's still hot, you know.
The old school 3-step.
Yeah. What do y'all think about his bell bottoms, man? You rocking those?
The flare jeans.
I know people were hating on those. I was like,
nah.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. People were hating on those at all.
I love them shits.
I heard people didn't like them.
Nah, he brought them back. If anything,
I thought they were just flares. What are you talking about? Oh, I thought they were boot cuts.
They're flare jeans.
Yeah, man, I used to rock them shit.
If anything, he brought them back.
Yeah, like people used to rent those anyway.
No, it was definitely a dope show. It was definitely a dope show.
Is that
And he had then he had the whole stadium. We're talking like 60 million people at the stadium, and how many people at home?
There was a rumor that the NFL was pumping crowd noise into Kendrick's halftime performance to make it seem like it was more hype than it was. You know, that was.
I think those are just haters, though.
I don't think that's a thing. I think that's just
you said pumping crowd noise. What does that mean?
Well, they'll make it seem like the crowd is screaming on TV, where in actuality at the stadium it's not as loud as it seems like it is on TV. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like they're making it seem like people are being louder than they are.
I don't think there's any validity to that whatsoever.
I actually have a video of like just people of somebody who was just recording during the thing. It sounded pretty loud to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
but you know, I'm sure. You know, some people say they never even heard of Kendrick Lamar.
I was like, is that Serena Williams? What the fuck? Talk about random. Like, what the hell is she doing there?
Let's talk about this. Do you know the story?
Well, she was dating Drake, right? That part of it?
That's part of it, but like
tell it.
Okay. So Serena Williams, this was what, 10 years ago? I want to say. But she's still hot, by the way. Serena Williams is still beautiful. Oh, absolutely.
Are you crazy?
It was sometime within the past decade. So she won Wimbledon, and to celebrate, she did the sea walk.
Did the crip walk, yeah.
And she was vilified for it, right? Like she did it in a crowd full of white people, tennis lovers,
yeah,
right? Like
tennis, yeah.
And she was vilified for it. Like she was crucified.
What is this juju?
They're like, what is this black people dance? What is this black people stuff that she's doing?
Tennis is the sport of the elite. Yeah.
So it's part of the message. It's part of the message that because she was vilified, like it's the same message that, you know, trying to keep the black woman down, trying not to let the black woman celebrate, trying not to let her enjoy being herself in a space that she deserves to be in. So after that happened, Kendrick calls her like when they were doing rehearsals. Like this is probably like 6 months. I think it was like three or so months. Let's say 3 to 6 months before the show actually happened. He chose violence that day, man. He did.
Right there.
But he calls her and he's like, "Look, I've been wanting to work with you for a while. I loved it when you did the sea walk at Wimbledon. I would love it if you could just do it here at the show. You know, you don't have to be featured or anything. We just want you to get up on some platform and just do it." And she's like, "Of course I'm going to do it." So,
yeah.
But there is also the double message that she is Drake's ex. And the fact that she's doing the crip walk, she is celebrating right
during his death song.
Right, just after the crowd, like she's dancing on his fucking grave. Like just after the crowd, the entire crowd chants A minor. Right? Just after that verse, and she's doing a sea walk, and her sea walk was clean, right? It was clean, and the fact that she was there, it seemed random, but it wasn't. It was planned, but I thought the way the camera cut to her was perfect. It went really well with the song and everything, man. Like, damn.
What's the A on Kendrick's chain? Does anybody know what that stands for?
A minor.
A minor.
A minor. It's a lowercase a.
I guess.
A minor A. A minor A.
And on his jacket, it says Gloria. That's his mom's name.
Mm-hmm.
Symbolism through and through.
Lowercase a minor.
We all knew he was going to do that damn song. There was no question. You know.
Whoa, no, we didn't know because
we knew
because Drake's lawyers are serious, man. Like
they did point out how he omitted certain lyrics, in which he, of course, you had to. You kind of had to radio edit it because
when he this man had the nerve to bring out mustard, mustard, but basically, when he performed the song, I think like the way he was smiling at the camera, it was like he was saying like, you know what? I'm gonna perform the song. Don't worry, Drake. I can afford it. I can afford it because he's probably gonna get got for like 15 million or something like that, which might not be such a drop in the bucket for him, but like he's like I can afford it because from this show alone. Like I'm gonna go mega status, and he did.
Yeah,
right?
I heard he what is it? Somebody said he spent 15 million or 40 million, and he got back for like you have to spend your own money apparently on to do the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he doesn't get paid. He don't get paid to do the Super Bowl.
He spent like 15 to 20 million to do it, and then he got like double or triple that back in like
streams
and stuff after that.
Yeah. So Dr. K said actually the A is part of the PJ Lang logo. Oh, I thought the lowercase a was for A minor. Damn. Okay.
The A was PJ Lang.
The
15 they got 46 about.
God damn it. I'm sorry, I'm blanking.
I thought it was an Amazon.
Can you help us out?
First, we got an A on there for.
But yeah, like so that was a story. So that was a story of with Serena. This was such a fucking death song, man. Like for Drake, man. Like goddamn, like. I would almost say on him, but then I remember I'm like, nah.
I don't think so. I don't think it's that song for Drake. I don't think Drake is.
Nah,
he has to lay low for a little while.
Actually, honestly, he's doing fine. He's on tour right now. And
Drake is still one of the hottest artists.
He just released a new album, actually. Like not too long ago.
The only thing Drake has to do is just lay low, let the shit blow over, give it another year. Everybody will be over this song. Yeah, everybody will be over this song and all this. So
stop trying to sue labels.
Yeah, trying to sue people. Just take the L and keep it moving. That's all we want.
Yeah.
Well, like I
to making music and chill.
Did y'all watch this live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I almost lost it. I almost lost it when he actually said the word, when he actually like mentioned Drake by name. I was like, oh my God, he's doing it.
Say Drake.
I hear you like I'm young. And I'm like,
Not ever go to
Cell Block 1.
Right here.
Damn. Just make sure you have your little sister from. Oh shit!
Oh my fuck!
Like, yo, man, chill. Damn. It was hard. Oh, Dr. K says album is trash. I thought it. Oh, you talking about Drake? Okay, yeah. I thought you talking about Kendrick. I was like, what?
I hear you like I'm young. I'm like, what?
Say Drake.
Better never go to Cell Block 1. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that shit was crazy. And then the last song he did, the whole turn the TV off.
But he didn't say
that turn the TV off. John is hard. Like the real version, that shit is hard. But when I first heard that, I was like, what the hell, man? This man Kendrick is just like, how you get back in the middle form? I thought SDE was his best album. You know what I mean? Like, and then he came out with Good Kid, Mad City. Like, okay. And then he came out with this show. I'm like, damn, bro, this dude just in his bag, man.
Yeah, like he's like it's like he came out with that joint in minutes.
Yep.
I thought Good Kid, Mad City. I was like, okay, Kendrick has peaked. He can't get any better than this. And I don't know if this album is better than Good Kid, Mad City.
Good Kid, Mad City was like his. This is his first album. His first actual album, right?
Well, yeah, SDE was kind of like a semi mixtape kind of thing that they put together, but SDE or you know what I'm talking about, is his first album, not SDE. Why am I saying SDE? That's Cameron's album.
Yeah, I was like, SDE.
What the hell is this nigga's album name, man? This shit is right about
got rigor mortis on it. What's the name of that jump?
I can't think of it either. But
I'm drawing a blank too.
All of TDE's first albums was hard, man. Kendrick's, Ab Soul's first joint was tight. Like Schoolboy Q's first joint was cool.
Oxymoron. Ab Soul jump. Yep.
Yeah, all their first album, man.
I like all their albums though. Like honestly, I like.
Too. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
even Schoolboy. Schoolboy's kind of the most pop of all of them. I guess outside of Kendrick a little bit, but even Schoolboy's albums is hard, man. Like Isaiah Rashad, did he have an official album? I don't even remember. But I remember TDE kind of revitalized my love for, because at that point it was a lot of mumble rap. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was mumbling and, you know, like they were classifying it as hip hop, but like it was just like a lot of
just because black people were involved.
Yeah, and like I the first time I heard
turn the TV off.
Kendrick joint. What the hell was the name of his first album? That shit is right on my goddamn tongue, man.
I know. Yeah, I don't know.
That was the first joint I heard, and then I was like, all right, let me check out these TDE dudes. And I got Ab Soul, and I got, you know what I mean, and Schoolboy.
You're not talking about September Butterfly, right?
No.
It was before that. Shit, somebody gonna look it up. We're gonna look it up.
Section 80.
Section 80. Yep.
Yeah. Section 80. Yeah, I'm about to play that, Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Section 80 was hard, man.
Yeah, Overly Dedicated. That was a mixtape. Kendrick Lamar EP. Man, I'm about to fucking go back through all these youngs, man. Hold on, son.
Section 80 was hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think the NFL is ever going to let this shit happen, at least for another.
They'll never have another black person.
NFL couldn't have this happen if they tried.
Solo hip hop artists.
Yeah, that's actually the fucking good point. They couldn't do this shit if they tried.
They couldn't do this shit again if they tried.
If they wanted to, like, and I'm sure they did, or they will. They like, man, remember when we had that?
Drake puts on this kind of show if he got the halftime show. Like, he's not having an all black dancing cast and having the American flag and having Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, and there's no way Drake is doing
on his grave.
Yeah, Drake is not that in touch with his. I don't think he's that in touch with the roots like that. Is Drake Canadian? Is he Canadian anyway?
He sure is.
Yeah,
he sure is. Hey,
Aubrey.
Hey, man.
They're trying.
What's the Jones that dear Aubrey? Sorry, I have to come and crash your party.
Yo, this nigga tried to end Aubrey.
Sorry to be the one to come and crash your party. Yo, what was the joke?
End Aubrey, dude. Like,
Cameron said, not Cameron. Joe Button said that beat on that song was just depressing. Meet the Grams said dun 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 ding ding. He said, "Dear Aubrey, sorry, I have to be the one to crash your party." He's like,
shit is fucked up, man.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, man, Aubrey.
Yeah.
So,
Aubrey.
Last thing was it? Dr. K probably got it on correct, but what was it? The last song was "Turn the TV Off." I heard after that song, after he played that Joe, and that right after the song, like was like million, like I don't know, a few million people just turned the TV, turned from the NFL all at once.
Trump left.
Yeah, Trump left.
He left after the halftime show.
No.
Or maybe during. I don't remember. But he left.
Which I'm shocked that he's the only president to ever go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I would have figured more presidents were. I mean, football is such an American pastime.
Such a missed opportunity.
I mean, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he's the only president to ever go to a Super Bowl, bro. I'm going to a Super Bowl. If I'm the president, I'm carving out something out of my schedule to go to the Super Bowl. Barack never went to a Super Bowl.
Yes,
shit.
I mean, I'm sure there's reasons. You know, they probably say this, that. Shouldn't your ass be working?
But you know, there's sport.
Shouldn't your ass be doing something productive?
the one.
Why are you here?
Like the one good thing with sports is
you just got sworn in.
Yeah,
you
what
should
are you
be
doing
busy.
Here? Yeah.
the one good thing with sports is it does pull people together, man. People that have no kind of connection any other way can pull together and root for the same sports team, man. So, you know, there's a great thing in sports, man. And I'm just shocked that a president has never, you know.
Maybe regionally, I feel like sports pull people apart because you got people rooting for the other team.
Well, there's definitely a tribalism, and I like this team, you like that team. But, you know, people if we like the same team, we can come from totally different socioeconomic backgrounds, political backgrounds, whatever. We like the same team, bro. So, like, there's a unity there, there's a unifying factor to a sports team as well. But I could see Trump and Obama sitting down at a football game enjoying the game. You know what I mean? Like it's a game. It's a football game. You know what I mean? Why not? Why wouldn't you? You know?
I mean, I know Obama likes
Trump's
football,
a racist Nazi.
I know Obama likes football, but I don't think any of his teams were at the Super Bowl this year.
Also, Trump's not really a sports person, though.
No, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
I guess for optics.
Yeah, he's just there to show his face. That's why he went.
Most presidents aren't Twitter people.
Yeah,
he sure is.
Especially now. That's scary.
Most presidents aren't Nazis.
Yeah, he sure
this
is.
One's definitely a Nazi. Trump's very unique in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he could be. Well, yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about Kendrick Lamar halftime show except for NFL is not going to let this happen. Not going to let
best point though is they couldn't if they tried.
They really couldn't if they tried.
They couldn't if they tried. Bro.
They couldn't.
They cannot repeat that kind of success.
I think when they signed Kendrick to do the Super Bowl performance in September, I think they didn't realize particularly what kind of artist he was. I think they were just going off the hype of Not Like Us, you know?
You think they didn't know what kind of artist he was?
No, I don't think they knew his standings as far as his politics and
who's they?
The people who control the NFL. You know what I mean? There are people that sign him. There's a committee of people who will sign people to perform at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? There's a committee of owners.
Yeah, you don't think anyone listen to any of Kendrick's other stuff?
They have to sit down. Dude, they're rich white men. No, they don't listen to Kendrick, man. No.
Wow.
No.
Well,
I don't know,
actually, man. Actually,
guaranteed Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, does not listen to Kendrick Lamar. He's like an 80-year-old oil tycoon.
Well, actually, the person who is the head of the of running the Super Bowl halftime show is a black man. And I'm pretty sure he has.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's a committee of guys that have to vote. They have to vote on who the halftime show is gonna. So it's not just one person that chooses.
No, it's not. It's not just one person, but like there's black people in there that run the
not
show.
so much in ownership. That's why. So for the Commanders,
Dr. K said Jay-Z and Live Nation control the halftime. I guess it's like.
Oh well, Jay-Z.
So I mean, yeah, it's a number. Is it? I guess. Hey, maybe there's more than one. Maybe there's not just old white guys doing it.
I don't know.
Maybe they kids like it.
When Magic Johnson became part owner of the Commanders, was it 2 years ago now? That's why it made such a big splash because they're finally getting more diversity in ownership. That's a big thing. They want diversity in ownership. But I'm like, well, how can you force diversity in ownership? You have to have the people who have the capital to buy the team.
They're all billionaires. It's not really diversity.
Yeah.
They're just rich.
Yeah, but Jay-Z and Rock Nation, yeah, they do a lot of do a lot of business with the NFL. a lot of the players are signed with Jay-Z's a sports agency. So,
All right, guys.
Nazis. Fucking Nazis.
Yeah, fellas, man. Well, yeah, I guess that's it's gonna take us home. It's gonna take us home, man. You know, I wish I had a copy of Captain America: Brave New World. Right, I'd watch it right now. I'd watch it right now, man.
Well, there's clips. Rewatch the after credit scene. That Jones on YouTube.
I'm shocked.
That Jones. See if you don't follow that shit, man.
That's on YouTube already. Fuck.
That's why I just pulled it up. That's why I just watched it.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Frank actually went back to see it twice.
I only went back. Look, the only reason I saw that movie twice was because the first time I went to see it with some friends on the day before. The morning after, I went to see it with Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was
after I saw it, I was like, that movie wasn't that good for Frank to go see it twice.
Nah. And plus, I wanted to give it a second. I wanted to give it a second watch just to make sure of what I saw and all the points. But like, yeah. So that's the only reason I watched it twice. I wouldn't.
They did Sam bad, man. They could have gave Sam more of an original story, man.
What are you talking about?
He is one of the core members of the team, and they could have given him a more original story. We saw all of that stuff happen before in other Captain America movies.
Because all the Captain America movies are like this. Base. Look, all the Thor movies are you're fighting the god.
No,
all the Captain America movies are you're fighting the hidden figure in the background.
No, this was supposed to be different. This was Sam's
all the Iron Man movies
and his solo movie. Sam has always been a B-roll character up to this point. Okay, Sam's always been. He's his one movie
because he's got the shield. We're not doing this again.
All right.
Let's do it again.
No, we're not. All right, you guys. It's been real good talk. Appreciate it.
Oh, hey, check this out. All right.
What's up?
No. All right. So.
Hang on. Wait. What you want to check out?
What happened?
What were you going to put up there?
Oh no, it's on the outro. I'll play it. Just
an outro. Damn.
Yeah, I got an outro.
Oh, damn, an outro too.
I gotta hit in stream though. So
okay. Well,
thanks for tuning in to the Intelligent Idea Talkers podcast, y'all. Again,
love the outro.
This is Juice.
This is D.
Zero.
And toodaloo.